Lights! What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Cobra Kai Season 5. Finally, it's here. We get to talk about it. This is full spoilers, full discussion. If you haven't watched the season, go watch, come back. But if you have watched the season, we are going to be discussing everything. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Then I'm going to turn it over to you guys for questions. Ask me anything. So I want to let you guys know, I actually watched the season 2 weeks ago. I got early access from Netflix, and the reason I want to let you guys know that is because I've had the chance of watching it a couple times already. So yesterday I basically spent like a lot of time just looking at comments because I didn't know. I knew how I felt about it, and it was nice because I got to formulate my own opinion first, but then I got to see what you guys thought, and I'm really interested by a lot of the comments. Like, I see a lot of different things. I see a lot of positive. I see some negative, which is interesting. I want to talk about all of it. I see like just a lot of different thoughts, and I want to really just get into all of it. So I want all of you guys to give me your thoughts, to comment what you think about it, and ask me questions. I don't know how long we're going to go for, but I want to just talk about everything. So I want to go for enough time where we talk about everything. So let's hang out, sit back, relax, get in that chat. You know, if you're in the chat, comment your questions. Let's nerd out here. Okay. We're nerds today. We're Cobra Kai nerds. We're always nerds. But I really want to nerd out today about the season because this is the first time I get to talk to you guys about the season, and I'm so excited. I have so many thoughts. So I do want to let you guys know that I did, when I watched the season 2 weeks ago, I recorded a video as soon as I finished watching it. It's about 40 minutes long. It's called I Just Watched Cobra Kai Season 5. And I actually posted that on the channel. So that's up there right now. It's my most recent video before this one. So if you want to check that out afterwards, you can see my initial thoughts. So as soon as I watched the season, those were my thoughts. And I still feel the same about pretty much everything. But I just have more, I've had more time to marinate on it, to sit on it. So feel free to send in your questions. I see some super chats coming in. Thank you guys for sending those. I'm definitely going to answer all of those. So if you want a guaranteed answer, I'm going to answer those for sure. So thank you guys so much. I will get to the super chats, but I just want to answer, I just want to talk about my initial thoughts first. Like just give my quick little recap, give my quick thoughts, and then we're going to get to your questions, which will go into when we answer your questions, that's going to open a bigger dialogue. But I want to start just by saying that I absolutely loved this season. This season was so good, and I feel like it was like the culmination of the first 4 seasons. You know, like all of this setup was paying off here. So with the rivalries between Miguel and Robby and then Tori and Sam, you know, for the first 4 seasons, them coming together this season, it was just like the culmination. You know, with Johnny, you know, Johnny was such this deadbeat father in the first season. And now look at him. Like, the guy's come such a long way. Like, he's having a baby. You know, there's so many arcs, so many characters that have grown. Hawk, you know, started off as a nerd, became a douchebag, and now he's still this strong fighter, but, you know, a nice guy who stands up for what's right. I thought Hawk's arc is great. There's so many good stuff here. My 2 MVPs. Oh my God, dude. I just have to say, I think this season was so good for so many people. I mean, I gotta say, Chosen and Silver, like Yuji and Thomas, were definitely freaking amazing. But Ralph, who plays Daniel, Billy, Johnny, Sean, who plays Barnes, they were so good. But then you look at the kids. Like, I mean, Sholo, who plays Miguel, Tanner, who plays Robby, Mary, who plays Sam. Like, they all did so good. Dallas, Kenny, Una, Devin, like, Jacob Hawk. Like, I mean, I'm just gonna name everybody. Like it was such a good season for everybody. And I'm really not just saying that. Like, I really feel like this season was so good for everybody, especially the adults. The adults really shined. Like last season, like there were a lot of Daniel moments that pissed me off, like how he was so set in the Miyagi-Do way. But this season, the dude's like getting drunk. He's like, dropping F-bombs. He's like, like working with Johnny and Chosen and even Barnes, he forgives Barnes pretty quickly, like that's character development at its finest, because in season 1, the dude just shuts out anyone but himself. Like, it's like, if it's not my way, it's wrong. That was Daniel, but he's come such a long way, and Ralph did a freaking brilliant job. Thomas, who plays Silver, is always great. It was just such a good season. It was so freaking good. There's so much to talk about. I know a lot of people are wondering, like, season 6, like, is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Like, is this the final season? Like we're going to talk about all of it. So I think we should just get into it. Right? Should we just dive right in? I think we're going to just dive right in, and we'll start an open dialogue through the fan questions, because I have so much to say. All right. Old School, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Old School says, what WTF were the writers high on when they had Kenny beat Hawk? So much hate. Yeah, okay, so I'll get my thoughts on that. I see that's going around the internet a lot. Kenny beating Hawk. So when I saw the trailer, the season 5 trailer, and we saw that Kenny was fighting Hawk and Devin was fighting Sam, I love Kenny and Devin. Don't get me wrong. I love them. I think they're 2 new great additions to the show. And I believed that they would get to the quarterfinals of the All Valley tournament. But, we're talking about Hawk and Sam. Sam's freaking been training karate her whole life. Hawk is the All Valley champ. He's been training so much longer than Kenny. It's not even about size, because obviously Hawk is bigger than Kenny, but we're not even talking size, because Johnny was bigger than Daniel and Daniel still won. So size doesn't matter. It's, it's skill. So I think when I saw the trailer, I was like, Hawk's got to win. Sam's got to win. If they don't win, like, there's something wrong. And it was like, kind of like, it was cool to see that matchup, but like, yeah, it's kind of like you're putting like LeBron James against like freaking, I don't know, like Chris Middleton. I don't know. No, Chris Middleton's good, but I'm just coming up with the comparison. LeBron's gonna win. So like, you have Hawk here. So here's the thing. Here's why I'm okay with Kenny beating Hawk. Because he didn't actually beat Hawk. Kenny didn't beat Hawk. Kenny, used like an illegal move to make Hawk not be able to breathe and compete. So Kenny didn't beat Hawk. Kenny didn't get 3 points and win. I believe it was 2. I believe that was Kenny's second point but Hawk couldn't fight anymore. And Robby literally told, so I don't think the writers were, I think the writing was actually fine here, because Robby actually told Hawk to take it easy on Kenny, because, Kenny's in Cobra Kai, and like, they know what it's like to be in Cobra Kai. It's not Kenny, it's Silver. Kenny's not in control of his emotion, or Kenny's not, trying to be this no mercy person. It's Silver who's making him be like that. So I think it was fine, because if Kenny never did that move and they just fought normally, Hawk would have obviously crushed him. Like if Hawk was trying to win, but Hawk was holding back. And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing with Kenny, which we know. And I believe this full force. I believe this. At the All Valley tournament in season 4, Robby was holding back with Kenny at first, and Kenny scored a point. It's underestimating the opponent. So, if Hawk is like just because Hawk is such a better fighter, if Hawk's holding back a little, Kenny's still a good enough fighter to take advantage of that. Like Kenny's like, listen, Kenny's still going full force. He was going at Hawk so much. So even though Hawk's a great fighter, Hawk was holding back, and we know that. Robby told him to take it easy. So Kenny took advantage of that, and I believe that but then we saw the next point, Hawk got kind of pissed at that, and Hawk went full force and freaking kicked Kenny so easily. It was such an easy point for Hawk. So I don't think we can say Kenny beat Hawk. Kenny didn't beat Hawk. Kenny cheated. He used an illegal move. Well, he didn't cheat. He just used a dirty move. But so it could have been anyone. It could have been Miguel. You know what I mean? It could have been anyone, and it still would have been fine, I feel. Nugget TV, thank you so much for the $1 super chat. Really appreciate that. VX, thank you for the super chat. Hey man, what did you think of season 5? Dude, I loved it. I freaking loved it. I thought it was incredible. I thought this season really upped the scale. I mean, it's like I thought season 4 was here, but season 5 was here. And season 6 is gonna be up here. It's just so good. Like the writing just keeps getting better and better. It's so good. Wild Man Beyond, thank you for the $5 super chat. Wow. This season gave the latest season of Stranger Things a run for its money. Yeah, listen, I like Stranger Things. It's never caught my attention like Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, as soon as I watched it, I fell in love. And I wasn't even a Karate Kid fan when I first watched Cobra Kai. So that just goes to show how good Cobra Kai is. Stranger Things is good. I thought the finale of Stranger Things wasn't that great. This finale of season 5 was the best finale of any season, I feel. Which my favorite finale was the season 2 finale before this. So the fact that this is my favorite finale, like this finale was insane. I mean, think about everything that happened. Johnny versus the Fist was one of the best fights. I mean, you have freaking you know what I love about Johnny versus the Fist? Yes, Mike Barnes saved him at the end, but for the most part, it was the will to be there for Johnny's newborn is what made Johnny go, is what made Johnny stay alive, literally. And then Chosen versus Silver, dude, freaking best fight of the whole series, There's not even a question. I mean, it wasn't really a karate fight. It was like a sword sci fight, but that's got to be the best fight of the whole entire show. Best fight. That's got to be my favorite fight. It wasn't even that after rewatching it, it's not even that long of a fight. It's not like that long, but it's still the most intense fight of any Cobra Kai Karate Kid movie because it's life or death. That fight, I feel like it's the best fight. But I want more. I want to know what you guys think about this. Okay, so story wise, the Silver versus Daniel fight in the finale was the best Silver Daniel fight, but fight choreography, entertainment wise, the fight in episode 5 was better because it was a longer fight. It was more back and forth. I want to know what you guys thought about that. Your thoughts on that fight. I really loved that fight. Where Silver just freaking demolished Daniel in episode 5, and then so I thought that fight was really, really cool. But yeah. Sam's Autistic Cobra, thanks for the super chat. Hey Drew, I sent you a DM on Instagram. Oh, I'll check it out, man. Yeah, I don't really check Instagram DMs too much, but I'm gonna look for yours. What did I think about Dimitri hitting Kyler? Dude, it's about time. It's about time for that. We've been waiting for Dimitri to, get his revenge on Kyler because Miguel got his revenge, Hawk got his revenge. They even had a line like Dimitri, like I didn't get to get my revenge, and Hawk's like you will, or something like so the fact that Dimitri finally got to get his revenge, and dude, Kyler was so funny this season. My favorite part was when after Mitch being a traitor, what the frick is wrong with you, Mitch? That pissed me off. Stupid Mitch. Dude, I loved Mitch up until that point. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? I thought Mitch was the most improved character in season 3, which I know is what? but I was in love with Mitch in season 3. I thought his transition from Cobra Kai to Eagle Fang to working with everybody at the house fight, I thought that was such a great arc for him. And this was such a subtle twist, but yet such a good one, and it made so much sense. But I like memorized the whole part. It was like, yo, Mitch, get your ass over here. And then Bird's like, penis breath, how could you? And then Mitch, Aiden Minks does such a great performance here. This monologue is one of the best monologues I've ever heard in Cobra Kai. It's such a great monologue. He's like, I don't know, maybe because they don't call me penis breath. You guys have been so dead set on taking down Cobra Kai that I never wanted to even leave in the first place. I mean, they got snacks, they have a smoothie bar, they have the swag. Meanwhile, our dojo doesn't even have a roof, and we barely have any chicks. No offense, Sam. And then Kyra's like, okay, all right, shut up, penis breath. Like, and then Mitch looks at him like it's just the funniest dude. That's writing at its perfection and acting at its perfection. Aiden Minks did so good. Oh my god. And so did Joe Co. He's so good. And then another one of my favorite Kyler parts is when he's like, when they're at the water park and Kyler's like to Kenny when he's talking about Anthony, he's like, yo, this is the dude that's been giving you trouble. And Anthony's like, dude, you've been in my house. You dated my sister. And then Kyler's like, I date a lot of sisters. Like, dude, so funny. Oh my god. And then he's something with the protein. Like, yo, gotta eat that protein. Dude, it's like, dude, Kyler's a freaking goat. Kyler's a goat. Freaking love Kyler. Kim Freeman, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Wildman Beyond, $5 super chat. Thank you. Chosen stole the show. He was to Cobra Kai what Eddie was to Stranger Things. I agree with that. I agree with that. Chosen definitely didn't get the same. Well, I mean, Chosen was a cameo in season 3. I would call him a cameo. Even though he was in like a full episode, I would call him more of a cameo. So he definitely didn't get that love. Like he got love. Like, oh, Chosen was so funny, but he really had a couple scenes and that was it, which I was like kind of upset about. I really thought like there should have been more with him. Because I thought he was such a great character. I thought it was just kind of like I enjoyed what they did. I just thought it would have been like kind of upsetting if that was the only time we saw him. This season, it was Chosen was like Yuji Akamoto freaking nails it. He does a perfect job portraying Chosen this season. Chosen, he can like make you laugh, but then you can also like fear him like at the same time. Like he's so good. Like, he has all these funny scenes where he's like butt naked and he's like drunk dancing. That was great. But then he can also like, then when you get to that finale and he has the size, it's like, I'm not afraid to kill. Yeah. Like, dude, the dude is terrifying. So it's like, that's not easy. That's not easy. And there's a lot of characters or a lot of actors in this show that could play different emotions. Like, even like freaking Jacob Bertrand, who plays Hawk, he could play nerdy Eli. Like, guys, microaggression. We really shouldn't be bullying anybody. Like, we should really be nice to each other. Like, it's a cleft lip. It's a scar from the surgery. Like, but then you go to get my buddy Rico, and we're gonna tattoo bitch on our face. Like, get ready for the. It's time to uncage the Hawk. Like the dude could flip on a script. I get it. Flip on a script. Flip the script. Like the dude, he could play two sides. And same with Chosen. Yuji can play funny Chosen. He could play serious, angry Chosen. And that's a testament to good acting. Great acting, actually. Brianna, that's so nice of you. Thank you for that super chat. And thank you for popping in, Brianna. We got to talk about this season. Whoops, I just fell. How are you doing, Brianna? What did you think? I gotta ask, for all his I'm never ever doing the crane on film again, did you see it coming? I was expecting the drum when that camera angle switched and his hands were up. Wait, he said he's never doing the crane on film again? Ralph said that? When did Ralph say that? I don't think I've ever heard Ralph say that. He probably did. I just didn't see that. No, but I definitely didn't see the crane coming. And I'll tell you why I didn't see the crane coming. The reason why I didn't see the crane coming is because everybody knows what the crane is. And like listen, at the All Valley tournament, like in 1984, like it was the first time like everyone kind of saw that in like that setting. But now everybody knows what it is, and now it's like kind of predictable. Okay, you have one leg up. So the move definitely wouldn't have worked if Silver was looking at him the whole time. If Silver was like this, looking at Ralph or Daniel getting ready to fight, the move wouldn't have worked. He would have knew that he was going for the kick. He would have grabbed the leg, just like Chosen did. But Silver was like reaching for the trophy, so his head was turned, so he wasn't looking. So that's why he did the crane. I actually have. So I recorded my reactions to the entire season. You guys can comment below what scenes you want to see me post of my reactions. I'm gonna post my biggest reactions. So like the reactions are actually nuts, but I have a reaction to Daniel doing the crane, and it went something like this. Like it was like, oh my god. Like it was just like you'll see that. I'll post that. My reaction to Daniel doing the crane kick. Definitely not expecting that. That angle. Yeah, when the camera switched the angle, like his hands were already going up. And they did the same side angle as the crane kick. Like that, I did not expect. And what's even funnier, the ironic part about this, is that Silver in Karate Kid 3, and this just goes to show how good the writers are. If I had to like, can someone make a compilation? Please, anyone out there, can someone make a compilation of all my streams or all my discussions where I say, it just goes to show how good the writers are, or it's just the writing is so good. Like because I feel like I say that all the time. Like I feel like I'm always saying that, but please, someone make a compilation of that. That would be funny. But Terry says in Karate Kid 3, what, you think you could rely on that crane crap? He literally like makes fun of the crane kick, and meanwhile, and then Daniel's like, it worked pretty well last time, and now look at him, he freaking used it on Terry to knock him out. I will be honest though. Okay, everyone in the chat, I need to know your opinion on this. Did anyone feel bad for Silver when the Cobra started throwing the clothes on him, when he was like on the ground and the glass was all over him and he was like, and they started like tossing the shirts at his face, and his like, I felt bad for him. Like, listen, I love Terry. No, nobody felt bad for him. Okay, I felt bad for him. I was like, no. I was like, don't do that to my boy Terry. I felt bad for him. Listen, guys. I'm a Terry fan. I love Daniel and Chosen. Like, I love that Daniel won that fight. But dude, Terry, the bad guys are more fun. It's just like, it's so fun. I don't know. I felt bad. I don't know. It's so good. The man's a psychopath who intentionally went off his meds and off the rails. Yeah, but he was just trying to educate the kids of the valley on karate. Oh god. Like, I see why Hayden loves Terry Silver. It's so good. He's so good. NASA Canes fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Was it any clearer that Kim Da-eun did not like Silver? The look she gave when Daniel kicked his butt was like, what am I doing here? Oh, that was good acting on her part. Yeah, she was definitely embarrassed. She definitely, I think she, well, what's interesting? What's really interesting? I want to talk. Okay, let's talk about this. I think there's something between Kim Da-eun and Kreese. I'm not saying like a romantic thing. I'm just saying there's a connection there. Because in season 5, when we got the freaking Kim Sung-young flashback, what the frick? Holy crap. Are you kidding me? That was freaking insane. Dude, we saw Kim Sung-young, the founder of Tang Soo Do, freaking Cobra Kai style. Are you kidding me? the founder of the freaking Way of the Fist. No mercy, strike first, strike hard. Are you kidding? Like that, dude. He's like a freaking like a warrior, like with his like long gray hair and his beard. Oh, dude, that was sick. Freaking Barrett Carnahan, Nick Marini training. Oh my god. So they did train directly under Kim Sung-young. You know, Silver says in Karate Kid 3, my master was Kim Sung-young, but you know, it could have been interpreted in two ways. It could have been one, he directly trained under him because we didn't necessarily know for sure that he did, or two, that you know, because we knew he trained under Captain Turner, who was trained under Kim Sung-young. So I thought maybe it was just like a reference to like he was trained under Captain Turner, who was trained under Kim Sung-young. So he said, my master is Kim Sung-young, because the name is more recognizable than Turner, Captain Turner or something. Like, I don't know. But so we got that flashback and we saw freaking Kim Da-eun, young Kim Da-eun, like looking at Kreese and Silver fighting. And like crazy to think that they have that like long history, Silver and Kim Da-eun. But Kreese was like winking at Kim Da-eun. There was like something there. Like we didn't see too much of those flashbacks, but we could get more flashbacks in season 6. I think they knew each other. And even when Kim Da-eun gets off the plane, she's like, where's Sensei Kreese? Like she wants to know where Kreese is. So there's a connection there. With Kreese getting out of jail in season 6, or in season 6 with him being out of jail and with Kim Da-eun being out there, I think they're gonna connect. And I think Kim Da-eun, you know, much would have rather been with Kreese than Silver. You know, she's literally like, where's Kreese? And I feel like there's a connection there. And yeah, she was definitely embarrassed when Silver was getting his ass kicked. I mean, like, listen, this guy, you know, talks so much game, you know, he's like so rich. He's talking all this crap. He owns all these dojos. He's the face of Cobra Kai. Meanwhile, he's losing to Danny Boy. Well, obviously Daniel's good, but that's Kim Da-eun's perspective. Like, you're losing to Daniel LaRusso. That was a funny scene too when Kim Da-eun was like, and Daniel LaRusso, I'm surprised to see you healed from your wounds so quickly. And Johnny's like, what? I'm not Daniel LaRusso. I look nothing like him. Like, that's so funny. Oh, God. Expressions of the outdoors. Thank you for the super chat. I found Anthony Swirly. Okay, so this person says, I found Anthony Swirly was well-deserved and satisfying. What? Dude, no way. No way. I felt so bad for him. That scene was so gross. I almost like threw up when I saw the brown toy. Oh God, we're not going to talk about that, but dude, no, that was so not fair. Like, here's the thing. Like, Anthony has apologized like 3 different times. He's apologized like 3 different times to him. And he's also tried to move on. Like, Kenny keeps holding on to this grudge, you know? So it's like, yes, what Anthony did was wrong, but like, it doesn't give you the right to constantly, even like Miguel. All right, right? Okay. Perfect example. Let's look at Miguel in season 1. Miguel, oh my, this just goes to show how freaking good Miguel is. All right, here's why Miguel in season 1 was better than what Kenny was in season 5. Miguel in season 1 was constantly being bullied by Kyler. Constantly. Got poured Pepto on, got made fun of, got beat up at the Halloween dance. Like, all this stuff. He got pushed around. And what does Miguel do? He beats all of them up and sends a message. Stop picking on me. I'm tougher than you. I'm bigger than you. I can beat all of you up. Stop picking on me. Right? So Miguel sends that message. And then we get to season 1, episode 6. And Dimitri and Miguel are walking in the halls. Miguel sees Kyler. Kyler sees Miguel. And Kyler, like, is like frightened and walks away. And what does Miguel do? Nothing. Because And Miguel says this in Cobra Kai season 5, which is one of the best lines. He says, I ain't trained in karate to hurt people. I didn't do karate to hurt people. I did it to become badass. So Miguel, it's not like Miguel, because Miguel had every right to constantly go after Kyler, once he became a badass, because of all the stuff Kyler did to him. But Miguel didn't. Miguel chose to, that wasn't the point of Miguel beating up Kyler. Miguel didn't want to beat up Kyler. He had to. It wasn't like I really want to beat him up and inflict pain. Like, no, it's nothing like that. He had to stand up for himself, because if he didn't, he would have kept getting bullied. So it was just to say, like, he fought, like, and this is, oh my God, and it ties back to what freaking Daniel says in Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi asked Daniel, why train to fight? And Daniel says, because so I won't have to fight. That's Miguel in season 1. Miguel trained in karate so he wouldn't have to fight, so he could stand up for himself, so that the fighting would stop. And that's what happened in season 1. I mean, obviously there's more fighting after. So with Kenny in season 5, he trained in karate so he wouldn't get bullied anymore, right? He was sick of getting bullied. He wanted to stand up for himself. That's why he started training. But by him training with Cobra Kai with Silver, instead of, like, once he beat up Lapusso and all his friends at the library, that should have been it. Like, I got you. Kenny's like, I got you. That should have been it. Like, now Anthony and his friends will never mess with him again. And then after that, Anthony tried to apologize to him. But Kenny, the difference between Kenny and Miguel is, Miguel was fighting through self-defense. Kenny was the aggressor. He kept going after Anthony, like, repeatedly. So that's why, while Kenny and Miguel have similar stories, that's the difference between Kenny and Miguel, which I like what they did with Kenny was they just made him a menace this season. Because if Kenny was like more like Miguel, it would have been a duplicate storyline. But even though they had a similar storyline from Miguel in season 1 and Kenny in season 4, I think season 5 was the difference, because in season 2, Miguel was never a bad person. He was just badass. But in season 5, Kenny was just not a good person. He was just a bully. Because the whole time he was just a bully. He kept going after his bullies. It didn't even when it was all said and done, he kept going after them. So but yeah, at the end Kenny quits Cobra Kai, which is cool. And I love that last scene with Kenny where he's like, what does he say? Robbie's like, Kenny, like, I just want to, like, talk to you. And Kenny's like, not right now, man. That right there, that's really interesting. I like that they did that, because it leaves, like, ambiguity, like, going to the next season. Ambiguity? Yeah, that's the word. Like, going to the next season of, like, what's Kenny's mindset. And it's not like Kenny's like, oh, man, I'm really upset that Silver cheated. Like, he's just like, no, not right now. Like, he's heartbroken. And I feel like that was a good way of portraying that one line. Wild Man Beyond. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, Wild Man Beyond. Appreciate that. All right. I've seen a couple comments like yours, Wild Man Beyond, and I'm interested to talk about this. Wild Man Beyond says, I was disappointed with Mike Barnes. I didn't care if he was good or bad. They just didn't give him more badass things to do, in my opinion. Okay. Let's talk about this. Comment in the chat if you liked Mike Barnes' role. All right, everyone comment in the chat. Here are my thoughts. Before I look at the chat, I want you guys to comment. Before I look at the chat, I want to give my thoughts. There's certain things that I can like the reason why I'm glad I watched the season and was able to formulate my own thoughts first was so I wouldn't get, like, influenced by other thoughts. But I can see other people's opinions and say, oh, okay, I understand where you're coming from. That might have not affected me the same way as you, but I could see where you're coming from. I was not disappointed with Mike Barnes. I thought what they did with Mike was actually brilliant. I thought it was such a great twist to have Mike be a good guy, to have a furniture shop and like move on with his life. He's like kind of, he's still been doing karate as we saw him fight Chosen, but he's kind of moved on with his life. And I thought episode 3 was really, really good. I liked the character of Mike Barnes. I thought the scene where, he's on the phone, he's like, I told you to take care of that Italian piece of shit a while ago. It's like, flew all the way from Japan. Now that's dedication. It's like, listen, I want to do my best, but for me to do that, I'm going to need 50%. Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm going to take care of those kids. I think I'll start by cutting off their legs. And the whole time he's talking about chairs, like it's just, and then and then Daniel comes in and is like, Mike, what are you doing? And Daniel's like, I'm not going to let you turn those kids, you shithead. Like he calls him shithead, the same thing that Mike called him in Karate Kid 3. That was a great reference. And Mike's like, Daniel LaRusso? Like, I love like seeing Mike, like not like, because in Karate Kid 3, anytime Mike saw Daniel, he just wanted to beat the crap out of him. So I like seeing that Mike has just like evolved. And then Mike and Daniel's on the phone. It's like, you piece of shit. I'm gonna like you think you could get to him. Like I'm not gonna let you take over the valley. And it turns out it's like Michelle. It's one of Mike's like clients. And then Mike's like, okay, fine. 40% commission while looking right at Daniel. Like Mike's got some good comedy moments and everything with Chosen. Okay. Chosen, Mike, and Johnny. We need a series on Chosen, Mike, and Johnny. The 3 villains of Karate Kid. They're so good. The blue suede chair with Chosen, like when Chosen's like, oh, on the chair. Mike's like, you like the blue suede? And Chosen's like, all right, very comfy. And then Chosen's like, how much? And Barnes is like, Barnes like, 1.2 grand, or 1.2, but for you, $2,000. Like the way he says it, it's so good. And then like the fact that like what's it called? Chosen beat up all of Mike's like employees outside of the shop. He beat up all of them. And then freaking Chosen buys the couch. It's like, don't get any blood on couch. It's so funny. And then, dude, freaking when Silver burns down Mike's shop, like that's terrible. Like, okay. There's so much. I love Mike. Okay, so as you could tell, basically me, like, okay, back to the question, or back to the thing with Wildman Beyond saying he was disappointed with Mike Barnes. As you could tell from my reactions, I was not disappointed by Mike Barnes. I love Mike. I will say that I love the finale. It would have been cooler if Mike had more to do in that fight, because he got knocked out like instantaneously. But I think the whole point of that was so he could save Johnny, because I forgot Mike even was there. Like I think that was the point of it. Like they wanted you to forget Mike was even there. So when Johnny's like about to die and then someone comes in, I thought it was actually Chosen. And then when I saw it was Mike, I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot like Mike Barnes was even part of this whole thing. Like, because there was like a half hour where he just wasn't even in it. So I think that was the whole point of that. So Mike could come in and save Johnny. However, it would have been cooler to see Mike Barnes like throughout the fight. I wouldn't have like, but I did like that he came in at the end and saved Johnny, but it would have been cooler to see Mike throughout the fight, because Sean Kanan's such a great fighter. And I would have wanted to see Johnny and Mike team up. That would have been cooler. Like, rather than like, here's the thing. Like, what if like Johnny and Mike were teaming up, fighting against the Fist, then Mike gets knocked out, after like a good fight, after we see like a lot of fight scenes, Mike gets knocked out, then it's Johnny versus the Fist. You have the same thing where he sees the ultrasound, then Mike comes in and saves Johnny. Mike might have gotten knocked out too early. it's like I love what they did. It's just like you want to see more. I'm hoping though that Mike is in season 6. I don't know how they would go about it. Like, would he join the karate war? Would they get him involved in a dojo? I don't know. The way they kind of set it up is kind of like this could have been just like a 1-season thing. But I feel like, you brought him into this universe, keep him in this universe. Because I feel like he was a fan favorite, a standout. He was definitely a standout for me. He was one of the highlights of the season. And even though he was only in 2 episodes, he was only in episode 3 and episode 10, which very interesting decision to have him, appear I was surprised to see him so early in the season. To see him episode 3, I was surprised because I thought, okay, wow, now they're going to really go in with Mike Barnes. Like Mike is going to get a bigger role than we thought. Because I think a lot of us thought, okay, Mike is going to kind of not have the biggest role this season, but they're going to set it up more for next season. But when they introduced him in episode 3, I'm like, oh, shoot, they're going to give him a big role. But then we didn't see him until episode 10. And I thought that whole scene with Mike, Chosen, Johnny, Daniel, like, come on, that was brilliant. That was brilliant with the limo. I wasn't expecting Mike there, but, Mike, karate's bad boy, him versus Johnny, it was so cool. Like, we're going to talk about all of it. There's so much there. But yeah, I feel like there could be more with him. I don't want this to be the end of Mike Barnes. So I'm happy with what they did with him. I thought he was a very good character, but I want more. So hopefully that answers your question. All right. Melissa, thank you for the $10 super chat. Wow, appreciate that. Cobra Kai Kid, how did you feel about the scene between Sam and Tory when Sam went to Tory's home? I believe that Sam is going to play a big role in helping Tory's mom health-wise. Thank you so much for the super chat, Melissa. I really appreciate that. How did I feel about the scene between Sam and Tory? I was really happy about that. I thought that's what we've been waiting for, honestly. And, I feel like it's like, it's what's so interesting about humans and like people is it's like people could be like so vicious, right? Like, you could see like someone could do something so terrible and you see that one action and you're like, that is a terrible person. But then you see like a different side to them and you see maybe the things that they're going through. And while it doesn't excuse all of those actions, you could still feel bad for someone who's done other terrible things. So it's like with Sam and Tory. Sam, I do not blame Sam at all for, hating Tory. Yes, Sam accused Tory of stealing her mom's wallet when she didn't. Yes, Sam cheated with Miguel, while Miguel was dating Tory. Those are terrible things. I understand that. But Tory tried to murder Samantha. You know what I mean? So it's like, when someone tries to kill you over cheating or accusing of stealing a wallet, like, then like that's a pretty big deal. So I understand Sam's hatred for Tory. In season 4, we saw there was, season 4, I thought was Tory's best season. I thought she was the MVP of season 4, honestly. I thought she was the best character, which was very surprising for me because I love Peyton List as an actress. I think Tory is an entertaining character, but I never was a fan of her in seasons 2 and 3 because she was just nuts. Like the girl was psycho. Like I actually thought she had some sort of like psycho whatever. But in season 4, she was human. In season 5, she was human. She had normal thoughts and she was a good person. who's just experiencing bad things. So hats off to John, Josh, and Hayden for the writing. The writing. Here we go again. Talk about the writing. Great writing to going into season 4. I was looking at Anthony and Kenny and Daniel and Johnny. I wasn't looking at Tori, and meanwhile, Tori stole the show. And I thought in season 5 she was brilliant. So for Sam to, because like, listen, I know a lot of people have complaints about Sam, right? But for Sam to go to Tori's house, that was a big deal. Well, Tori kind of started it by going to Sam to tell her about the tournament. You know, so Tori was the bigger person first. So props off to Tori for doing that, you know. And Tori, you know, I loved, can I say this? I love that in season 5, and I here we go again, the writing, but I'm going to keep saying it, the writing. I love that in season 5, there was no Tori-Sam rivalry at all. Season 4 was like the perfect, like when Tori, you know, asked Sam, "Are you okay?" And Sam's like, "What?" Like it felt like, you know, Tori wasn't going after Sam anymore. And Sam, if Sam wanted to grow as a character, I don't feel like if Sam, like, say like they were at the water park and Sam was like if they were at the water park, we know Tori wouldn't have gone after Sam. She's done with that. Like, you know, Tori's like living her own life, and she's not that kind of girl anymore who's going to provoke the situation. If Sam were to provoke it, it would have made me not like Sam. And I really do love Sam. So I thought those two characters grew more than any other characters. I thought their rivalry grew because here they are both at the water park, both at the Saikai Taikai. And they have like some moments where they look at each other, but they don't like, you know, come after each other. And that to me speaks volumes. I thought that was a really that really spoke to me to see how far these two characters have come. Because we know with Cobra Kai, you know, Miguel and Robby, they're like in the beginning, you know, they're always looking to fight. Like whatever opportunity, they're always looking to fight. Hawk and Kenny, like, you know, Bird and whoever, like they're always looking to fight. But the fact that Sam and Tori were able to be in the same spots and not fight, I thought said a lot. So when Tori fought Sam, like or Sam fought Tori at the beginning of episode 9, when they were at the apartment complex. But that was only because, you know, Tori revealed that you know, Silver cheated the tournament, like all that. So it was, you know, that situation was like there was a little reason, but it wasn't like, it was more like Sam like was just angry. But when she went to Tori's house and saw, you know, the mess in the apartment, when she saw Tori's mom, which it's a little interesting that, like, I wish we would get more with that, because I know there's been theories that Tori's mom's gonna die, like there's gonna be something there. Like, I feel like it's been like, you know, 2, 3, 4, like it's 4 seasons of like Tori's mom's like just like in the bed, like can we get something more there? Can we like see her? Can we get a scene with her? Can we get another scene with her brother? Like I want to get more there. And that's where I feel like this show, like that's the biggest thing for me with Cobra Kai. It's like I love this show, but I feel like there's so much more opportunity to like dive more into the characters and like slow it down. Because I know a lot of people are like, you know, feel like sometimes the show is very fast paced. And I agree with that. I agree. It's a very fast paced show. There's a lot to digest. I feel like there's some things we can sit with more. Like even Mike, you know, maybe like, you know, Mike, episode 3 was Mike Barnes's episode, but it was still, there was a lot going on in episode 3. There was Miguel, Sam, Robby, or Miguel, Sam, Hawk, or Miguel, Sam breakup. There was, you know, Miguel with Hawk, with Dimitri. There was Yasmin, Moon, Sam. There was what was Robby doing in episode 3? Was Robby in episode 3? I don't know if Robby was in episode 3. Yeah, I'm not remembering Robby in episode 3. There was Johnny, you know, with the baby and Carmen. Was Silver in episode 3? Oh yeah. It was the whole thing, like you're playing with fire with the golf course. So there was what was I saying? My mind totally blanked. Yeah, so okay, so I feel like with like Tori and with all these characters, there could be like just more exploration. Like even with like Kenny, like get some like I want to see like some more home life stuff. I don't know. I feel like there could be like more exploration. So it's like while I love what they give us, it's like I want more. Whether that's longer episodes or more episodes, like kind of like Stranger Things. Like Stranger Things gives like hour-long episodes. Like that would be cool. And I don't feel like it would be like here's the thing. I understand like, you know, I understand like some shows it feels like it could be dragged out, right? But I don't necessarily think that's the case with Cobra Kai. I don't think if they were to do more, I'm not saying more with everything, but I'm just saying a little more. I don't think it would be dragged out because there was even an extended scene with Kreese and Silver from episode 1 of season 4. There was an extended scene that had some really great information, and I think they cut it out because of time. So like, and that was only like a minute extra. So I'm like, like I just wish maybe we could get more. And I feel like that's if there's any complaint to have about Cobra Kai, if the complaint is you want more, that's a pretty damn good complaint to have. So yeah, I love that scene with Sam talking to Tori, you know, how they were both, you know, just not fighting, you know, and Sam asking Tori, like, oh my God, what happened to your hand? Are you okay? You know, like Sam actually being concerned for Tori. And, you know, and then it tied into the finale when Sam saved Tori, you know, when Kim Da-eun was stepping on her wrist and Sam's like, Tori, and like saves her. And like the whole time when I'm watching that, I'm like, bro, the reason you're not beating Kim Da-eun is because you're not working together. You know, you gotta work together. And like, you know, that technique that, you know, how when Devin and Tori were fighting Kim Da-eun and Kyler and Kenny were fighting Tyrone Woodley, I don't know his character name, like, you know, work like how they were working together. Sam and Tori, I felt like should have like worked together more. They were kind of just like going more one-on-one, but that's obviously got to be something they practice, how to work together, how to fight together. So I love that scene with Sam and Tori. Brianna, thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you, Brianna. Dude, we so need to chat. Yes, we will. We will chat. Oh, Brianna, what did you think about? I mean, not Kreese, Daniel. You must have loved Daniel this season. I thought Daniel had a great season. I thought this was Daniel's best season. I thought Ralph killed it. Ralph's acting, the progression from episode 1 to episode 10 with Ralph, with Daniel. Like, here's what I loved about Daniel. He was just so, he had an edge this season, and he was just so, he wasn't self-centered anymore. You know, he was so self-centered in the first 4 seasons. Miyagi-Do. And I'm like I love Miyagi-Do. I love, like, I'm wearing a Miyagi-Do headband. I love like kata. I love balance. I love all the lessons. But, you know, Daniel was just so like, he was too Miyagi-Do. Like even Mr. Miyagi was never like that. Like Daniel was like so neglectful of everybody else. He was so no, Johnny, you're wrong. Kreese, you're wrong. Silver, you're wrong. Everybody, you're wrong. I'm the only person who's right here. Like, it's only Miyagi-Do. That's it. But this season, like he wasn't even like, he wasn't like that. He was just open to everything. He was just a nice overall guy. He was open to all the styles. And yes, he was Miyagi-Do. The roots are strong and so is the tree. I love that line. Like, you know, but he was so, dude, he was so good. He came such a long way. And it just goes to show, if you guys don't like a character, like, for example, Sam, right? Like if because a lot of people don't like Sam. Some people don't like Daniel. It's all intentional. Like it's like if you don't like a character, it's not because the writing is bad. It's because they don't want you to like that character's decisions. It's like they kind of want Not necessarily, they don't want you to not like the character, but they want the character to be controversial. So when the writers have Daniel say Miyagi-Do is the only way, like, what, Eagle Fang sucks, like, when they have him say that, they're not writing that like unaware that people aren't, like, they're not unaware that people aren't going to like the character. They are aware that Daniel saying that sort of line will cause controversy, especially since people love Johnny. You know, people love Johnny probably more than Daniel. Like, I think that's just a fact. So when Daniel, you know, insults Johnny, people don't like Daniel because they love Johnny. And it's like, why are you insulting Daniel? But the writers do that intentionally because when you develop the character and you have Daniel evolve from that, and now he's, you know, buddy with Johnny, now we like Daniel and he's grown. Because if Daniel was like that in season 1, there's no room for growth. That's what's so great about the writing in this season, is all the characters have really grown, and I think it's just beautiful. So yeah. Brianna says, my brain is a swirling maelstrom. There's so much there with Kim Da-eun. Kim Da-eun was great, and I agree with you on the kreese thing. What I said with the kreese thing? Oh, with Kim Da-eun, yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot there with Kim Da-eun. I hope we get more backstory on her. I hope we can get more layers with her. Because I feel like there's more to explore there. Thanura Ravindra, thank you for the super chat. Season 5 has gotten the show to be so cheesy and ridiculous, and I love it. I'm ready for the show to go full Fast and Furious cheese. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, it's like when you just look at the actual like scenario of it, the whole thing, it's like this is all over like karate dojos, like this whole like war, you know, this whole, like, imagine being like an outside perspective, like imagine like being like my thought is like being like one of those police officers, and it's like this again, the karate thing, like what the frick is going on with karate? It's like here we have like there could be like, you know, crimes with like guns and robberies and, you know, this, but why is like the valley karate? So that's like the perspective of like these police officers. But it's so good. They do it in such a way where it's like, it doesn't feel ridiculous. Like, yes, like, is that realistic in real life? Is it realistic for this all to be real? Probably not. Like, none of this would probably happen in real life. But the show is very self-conscious of that. And it does such a great job of making it feel real, which is very important because, like, yes, you can have fantasy movies. Star Wars is a fantasy movie, you know, that pushes the realities of whatever. But Cobra Kai is still, you know, based on a real story. You can't introduce magic into Cobra Kai. You can't introduce the Force. You can't introduce lightsabers, or I don't know why I'm using all these Star Wars. You can't introduce flying. Like, it's still grounded in reality and realism. But, you know, it's fun when you have this show like get to this level of insanity. It's fun, and they do it in a way where you're invested. And I'm not watching and I'm not feeling like, oh, this is so unrealistic. This is so out of the ordinary. Like they do, like they know that like it's like kind of crazy and it's insane and it's like, you know, pushing boundaries, but they still keep it real. They still keep it kind of real. And that's what I appreciate it. So no, this show is freaking brilliant. NASA Canes fan, thank you for the $10 super chat. I thought the scene at the dance club was great. Oh my god. Oh my god. So good. Anush said no to hanging with Johnny because Johnny punched him. They end up at the same place anyway, and Louis attacked Anush over Vanessa. LOL. Yes. That right there is like a great like little comedy setup payoff. You know, having Anush at the beginning of the episode be like, nah, I can't come. I have this date. And like you kind of like, you're not really thinking too much of it. Like the only thing I thought was like, oh dang, like I really wanted Anush to be there. Like that would have been more fun. Like maybe they just wanted to keep it more character centric with Johnny, Daniel, Chosen, Amanda, Carmen, Louie. They didn't want to add. They didn't want to add Anush in there. They didn't want it to get too character filled. Which I'm like, what? Why wouldn't you want to add Anush in there? Because Louie and Anush were so good, especially in episode 3 when they were like coming out of the they just finished golfing with. I find it so funny. Anush and Louie went golfing with Chosen and Daniel. Like, just think about like. It's just funny. That's funny to me. I wish we would have seen that actual scene of the golfing. That was really great. But basically, yeah, I thought that was a great setup and payoff where Anush didn't go. And then as soon as I saw Anush with that girl, as soon as we saw Anush there and you saw the back of the girl, I was like, that's Vanessa. I knew it. Because, you know, Anush was like, oh no. I'm like, who could he be with? I'm like, oh, it's got to be his cousin. I mean, it's got to be his sister. Daniel's cousin. It's got to be his sister. And it was. So Julia Macchio, what a great way to bring Julia Macchio back. And it was such a funny thing. And freaking Louis just punches Anush right in the face. Like full on punches him in the face. Anush tackles him. Like, great comedy right there. Anush and Louis are great. And then they make up at the end. Like, oh, you gotta love Anush and Louis. It's funny because I met Brett Ernst a couple weeks ago at his comedy show. And it was funny because I didn't talk to him about season 5, but you know, it's funny because I didn't know he had a very big role. He had a very big role this season. He was in it a lot. See episode 3 and episode 9. He was in episode 3 and episode 9. I think were his 2 episodes, I believe. But he had a pretty nice, solid role. So I'm happy for him. Thanura Ravindra, thank you for the super chat. Still waiting for and wondering about Julie Pierce. Yeah, that's the thing. I know everyone was everyone's saying like this should be the finale of the show. Season 5 should be the last season. I completely disagree. I understand, and I've said like this feels like a series finale in terms of scale. And yes, like Silver got arrested, the good guys won. But there's still stuff that they need to do in season 6. Now, yes, like Silver, our big bad, is gone, but Kreese got out of jail. And even there was an interview, which I want to do a separate, I'm not going to go over it too much here, but there's the Cobra Kai creators have done some interviews that I want to do like a live stream or a video on, where they were answering questions. And, you know, I think the interviewer asked like something like, what do you do now that Silver's gone? And I think, I forgot who answered it, but one of the writers was like, well, Silver's in jail. Like he could come back, whatever. I'm kind of paraphrasing what I remember. He's like, but there's still a big bad in Kreese who just got out of jail. So, you know, I don't think Kreese can be the big bad of this show ever again. You can't have Silver go to jail forever and Kreese take over Cobra Kai and be the big villain. Like, I feel like we've evolved past that. Kreese was the villain of season 3. That was his season. Then Silver and Kreese in season 4. Silver in 5. Kreese doesn't, especially after everything, especially after all of his, like, you know, he's like going towards a redemption arc. I feel he's heading towards like a solid redemption arc. And I feel like for him to be the big bad of the season would not only contradict that, but it would also not, I feel like it wouldn't have as much tension, because I can't see Kreese. Now, I can see Kreese still being a villain. Like, here's the thing. I don't think Kreese is going to be this great good guy. I think he'll come back after escaping jail and he's going to cause some havoc. But he can't be, he's not Silver level. He's not on the level of Terry Silver. He's not Like literally Kreese, Silver overthrew Kreese. Silver is the big bad. If Kreese is Darth Vader, Silver is the Emperor, not the other way around. So I feel like Kreese is like a secondary villain. That's a good way of putting it. I feel like Kreese is a secondary villain, like an anti-hero, like a villain hero. I don't know. Silver's the villain. It can't just be Kreese. You can't have, and I don't think season 6 is the last season. So that's especially why, like, Kreese, it can't just be Kreese the bad guy. It's also like Kreese doesn't have the resources that Silver has. Like, I don't know. Kreese just doesn't pose that big, I am the villain of the whole, especially if we're doing world tournament style. If Cobra Kai is, if we're getting to that world tournament, if that's what we're heading towards, if that's what we're evolving to, Kreese can't be the big villain of that. That's Silver. So I think Silver's going to get out of jail and he's got to get Cobra Kai back or something. But I do think Kreese is going to be a bad guy. Now the question was about Julie Pierce. How did I get into Kreese? Oh, I know why I was talking, because the reason why I was talking about Kreese, and the question was, or the comment was, still waiting for and wondering about Julie Pierce. Julie Pierce is going to come back. We know this. They've brought back everyone. They brought back Jessica Andrews, which was amazing. We're going to talk about that. They brought back Mike Barnes. They brought back Silver. Like, they're bringing back everybody. Julie Pierce is purposely being saved up because we've gotten everyone so far except Julie Pierce. Julie Pierce is probably the most notable character who we have not yet seen. Yes, we have like some characters like Dennis Snake, Dutch probably is not coming back. Chai McQueen said he doesn't want to do it. There's Dennis Snake, but Julie is probably the main one who we're waiting on. And the reason why they haven't brought her back is because they're making more seasons. I think it's a good sign. I think it's a very good sign that she hasn't been brought in because they're saving her up. I definitely think we're going to see her in season 6 because I think season 6, is going to be this world tournament, the Saikai Taikai. And I feel like the stakes are going to have never been higher. And I feel like you're going to need all the help you could get. And I feel like they're going to have to bring in some more reinforcements. I feel like Julie needs to come in to really help spread more of Miyagi's legacy, because there's a couple people on this earth that know about Miyagi's legacy and his impact. Daniel Chosen and Julie Pierce, who have Julie trained directly under Miyagi, just like Daniel. Chosen never even trained directly under Miyagi. So Julie knows maybe just as much as Daniel. Who knows what she's been doing in all these years? I'm sure she's still been keeping up with the karate. I feel like Miyagi-Do, because look at how Miyagi-Do has helped Daniel. I feel like Julie has still been keeping up with it. I feel like Miyagi-Do has been such a big part of her life. That would be a great arc for her character, because in the beginning of The Next Karate Kid, which I like that film. I think it's a great film. In the beginning of The Next Karate Kid, she doesn't want to have anything to do with Mr. Miyagi. She doesn't want anything to do with Miyagi-Do. But at the end, Miyagi becomes like a father to her, and she, embraces Miyagi-Do. I feel like it would be a great arc for her to, in Cobra Kai season 5, to know, like, all these years later, she's still been keeping up with the Miyagi-Do karate and balance and all that. I think it would be cool to see her with like a family and kids, like, really see her grow. So I think we're going to see her in season 6. And I think she's going to have a big role. I think she'll have a bigger role than Mike had in season 5. Because I feel like she's more connected to the story. I feel like her having that direct connection to Mr. Miyagi is something big. And there's so many possibilities there. I feel like that's a big opportunity to bring her in, not just as a cameo. Because Mike, I don't know, Mike maybe was like a cameo. I feel like Mike kind of was a cameo. I don't know if you can really say Mike was like a main character this season. Like you look at like Johnny. Johnny's obviously a recurring character. Chosen definitely wasn't a cameo. Mike felt more like a cameo. He had an impactful role, but still it was kind of a cameo. It kind of appeared in 2 episodes, and that was it. Julie, I think, is when she comes into the series, I think she's gonna stay and like train the kids. Like I think she's gonna be part of the dojo, and I really want to see that. I think they should do that, and I think they will, because I think it'll bring more attention to the next Karate Kid, which we haven't had too much of, and I think it deserves it. I love Julie. Wildman Beyond, thank you for the $5 super chat. The crane kick was the cherry on top. There's your answer, Mr. Silver. Yes. Yeah, exactly. You think you could rely on that crane crap, and meanwhile he did it. Thank you for that. Michael C. Cedino, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Great season, but as great as the finale was, 2 things confused me. Daniel defeated Terry way too easily, and Johnny was beat up for way too long. Okay. Great season, as great as the finale was, 2 things confused you. Daniel defeated Terry way too easily. Okay. Let's start with the first one. Daniel defeated Terry way too easily. I do understand. I do understand in a way what you're saying with like, the fact that like, I think we can agree that Chosen is a better fighter than Daniel, right? Chosen is a better fighter than Daniel. But Silver, kicked Chosen's ass. Not just in the fight with the weapons, but even with the when they were fighting hand to hand, Silver got Chosen a couple of times. Meanwhile, Silver didn't. I don't think Silver landed a single hit on Daniel in that finale. But here's the thing, though. Here's why I was perfect. Here's why I was fine with it. At the beginning of the season, Chosen told Daniel, in order to defeat a serpent, you must think like a serpent. And that's what Daniel did in that finale. He used Silver's teachings against him. Man can't stand. He can't fight. Man can't breathe. He can't fight. Man can't see. He can't fight. He used those teachings against him. So Daniel being more familiar with Silver is what gave him that advantage. And I think Daniel had more to fight for. Chosen fighting Silver was more about like taking him down and, protecting Daniel, or honoring Miyagi-Do and stopping this villain. I feel like Daniel had more at stake. I feel like all these kids around him, it was like all of their well-beings, all of their lives were like in Daniel's hands. If Daniel doesn't take down Silver, then all these kids are corrupted by Cobra Kai, his whole family, his students. So I feel like Daniel had more at stake. So I feel like, there was a difference between that. Like, the reason why he got his butt kicked in episode 5 was, one, he was also a mess. He was a mess. His wife left him. He wasn't even there to fight. He got provoked. He struck first on Silver. Daniel threw the first punch. So, which he never does. Miyagi never throws the first punch. Karate's for defense only. So, episode 5, he got his ass kicked because he wasn't prepared. But episode 10, he was prepared. He was definitely ready for that moment. He was waiting for that moment, and he was ready. He had a lot to fight for. So I think him beating Silver was, I don't think it was. I think the way they did it was good. Plus, Terry just went through like a whole lot with like Terry just like he killed Chosen. Like in Terry's mind, he killed Chosen. He has all this adrenaline going. you know, I think Daniel took advantage of that. He took advantage of Silver's craziness and was able to humble him. So that's my thought. And your other thing that you were confused about was Johnny getting beat up for way too long. Yeah, I mean, that's something that they do in like movies and shows. I understand that. I get what you're saying. I personally, that's not something that's gonna really like Daniel defeating Terry too easily. I understand how that might like throw people the wrong way. I feel like Johnny getting beat up for too long, that's not something that would really bother me. Something that did bother me, this is in Stranger Things. If you guys ever watched Stranger Things, there was like one scene in the finale where Nancy, Steve, and Robin were getting like choked by the Vecna branches in the Upside Down or whatever, and that was going on for like an hour. They were like choking and dying like for an hour. So like, it's like, if say like the fist, like I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, like that scene pissed me off. If say like the fist was like choking Johnny for like an hour, or like they had like the sword up to him and they're like, we're gonna kill you, and then it like cuts to Silver Chosen and then it cuts back, okay, we're about to do it, or it's like they're like pulling back the sword and they do that for an hour, I would have had a problem with that. But you know, I feel like it was fine because, you know, they were just beating him up and having fun with it. So Johnny getting beat up for too long, I don't see an issue there. You know, I actually think that's, you know, it, like, I don't think that I think that made sense. I mean, he was getting beat up. It wasn't like he was dying or anything. He was just getting beat up. Wild Man Beyond, thank you again for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Who was super hoping for Julie Pierce to pop up this season? No, I wasn't. I love Julie Pierce. I want to see her, but I don't think she needed to be in this season. There was too much going on. Too much. Way too much. Her showing up this season would have been way too convoluted. And I think the thing for me, which is what I was talking about, how we want more time to explore characters. If Julie were to come this season, you're taking time away from Chosen. You're taking away time from Silver, from Johnny and Robby and Miguel and Sam and Tori. You're taking time away from all of them. We needed this season to dive into the relationships and the connections we already knew. You know, like Mike was a great addition. Jessica was a great addition. But we also want further development on the characters we already love. Season 6 will be good for bringing Julie Pierce in. This season was definitely not the place. Definitely not. It just wouldn't have. It would have been way too convoluted, I feel. Yeah. Wild Man Beyond, thank you again for the super chat. Robin Lively was a surprise treat. Let's talk about Robin Lively, aka Jessica Andrews from Karate Kid 3. Jessica Andrews, I was not expecting that. I'll be honest, I was not expecting that. I wanted to see Jessica in Cobra Kai, but I was also like, how could they bring her into this story? How would she tie in? What would make sense? Like how would it make sense if she got brought in? And I thought what they did, which interesting enough, in an interview with John, Josh, and Hayden, the creators of Cobra Kai, we got to go over this article. We'll do that in another stream or something. But they actually say that the idea of having Jessica related to Amanda being her cousin, so smart. That they came up with that in the season 5 writers room. So that wasn't something where in season 1, and I'm actually surprised that they were like so open about that, you know, because like sometimes like writers will be like, oh, it was the plan from the beginning to do that. But they were very open about that. They were open about it not being the plan from the beginning. They literally came up with it like randomly in season 5. So that was never the plan. They knew they wanted to bring Jessica into the story. Rob and Lively contacted them. They spoke. They wanted to bring Jessica in. They just didn't know how they were going to do it. And they felt like this made sense. And here you could have this family connection, Amanda being related to Jessica, without it being like Tori is Silver's daughter or whatever crap that doesn't make sense. Like, this actually made sense. It makes sense that, you know, Jessica introduced Daniel to her cousin, Amanda. You know, Jessica has a cousin, Amanda. What was her last name? Amanda Steiner? Was it Amanda Steiner? Yeah, it was Amanda Steiner. Yeah. So it's like Jessica has this cousin, Amanda Steiner, and, you know, maybe Jessica's like, hey, like, I know this guy, Daniel, you should hang out with him. I think you would like him. And Amanda's like, okay. And then boom. Like, it makes sense. I felt like that was a very Babe Ruthless. Yes, Babe Ruthless. I thought that was a really cool way of tying it in. I'm hungry. I got pretzels, so excuse me while I just take a little snack break.
"8 a.m. tomorrow. I'm a senior. I've got 1 year to make it all work."
There we go. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a quick break. Maybe like a 10-minute break. All right. About 10 minutes. Then I'm going to come back and answer the rest of your questions. All right. So keep sending in your questions. I will answer all of them. But I'm going to go eat. Take a quick break. I'll be back. It's 11:23. Let's say I'll be back at 11:35 a.m. Eastern time. So like about 12 minutes. So I will see you guys soon. So stick around. I'll be back. Cobra Kai never dies. See you soon. And we're back. What's up, guys? Now we are back. Just had my little snack break. Gotta refuel, get ready for this, for the next stage of our Cobra Kai season 5 discussion. Hope all of you are well. Hope you guys had a nice break. Hope you guys had some nice snacks, or I don't know. But let's get back into the discussion. So we have Robin Lively. Did we talk about Robin Lively? Yeah, we did. We did talk about Robin Lively. I thought she was great. I thought Jessica Andrews was great. I thought Robin was amazing. I'm so happy they brought her back for that episode. When she was talking about like rock climbing and all that, like climbing it like in the gorge, like, oh, dude, it just gave me Karate Kid 3 flashbacks. Like, it was like, it's Jessica. And then she brought Daniel the mac and cheese, even though Daniel wasn't there. She's like, I got mac and cheese. I got 10 pounds of mac and cheese. Like, I was like, oh, man, Daniel, because Daniel loves his mac and cheese. That was so good. Ruben, thank you for the super chat. I would love to see Johnny and Mike running the now Cobra Kai and Daniel and Chosen running Miyagi-Do. I like that. Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Dang it. Dang it.
Hey, I like that. Oh, I like that, Johnny. I'm going to use that.
I like that. I'm going to use that. But I like that. That's a good theory. I like that theory. I think Cobra Kai, it's interesting because, I wonder how they're going to go about it, because Johnny and Daniel want nothing to do with Cobra Kai. Johnny's Eagle Fang, Daniel's Miyagi-Do. But the show is called Cobra Kai. The logo is awesome. Like, they can't end the series with Cobra Kai like being done. Like, I was speaking to a friend of mine, Perry Nemiroff, who you guys may know her. She does interviews for Collider, the YouTube channel Collider. She did a lot of Cobra Kai season 5 interviews, so you guys might have seen those. We did a discussion that I'll be posting soon on the channel. But, we were talking about how, like, it'd be cool if, like, Johnny, Daniel, and Chosen, they took Cobra Kai and made Cobra Kai their new dojo, but kind of like rehabilitated it. So it's like they kind of made it's called Cobra Kai, but it has like styles of Eagle Fang, Miyagi-Do. It has like all these different things. So you're just taking the name Cobra Kai, and that way, like, because Cobra Kai is already branded so much, it's already out there, it's already so well known. Instead of trying to get rid of Cobra Kai and make it something else, why not keep Cobra Kai, but just make it a better Cobra Kai? That'd be pretty cool. But with where we're at in the story, it's going to take some time to get there if they were to do that, because Daniel freaking hates any idea of Cobra Kai. Like, just because, Daniel's grown a lot this season and through all the seasons, and I don't blame him. Like, why would you want Cobra Kai to still exist? Like, I even Johnny, I don't even think Johnny would want Cobra Kai to exist. So it'll be interesting to see if Cobra Kai stays alive, but I hope it does, because as we all know,
Cobra Kai. Say it. Cobra Kai never dies.
Cobra Kai never dies. So hopefully it doesn't die. Yeah, Johnny and Mike running the dojo would be cool. I think the dynamic between Johnny, Mike, and Chosen is freaking brilliant. It's so good. But yeah, Johnny and Mike running Cobra Kai and Daniel Chosen running Miyagi-Do, or one cohesive dojo that teaches all the styles. That would be pretty cool. That'd be sick. Expressions of the outdoors. Thank you so much for the super chats. Sam and Tori were both antagonistic towards each other. I think it was a great story that was telegraphed at the end of season 4, in my opinion. I completely agree. I think season 4 was a great setup for the rivalry to end, and I really just appreciated the fact that there was no, Tori was dealing with her stuff, Sam was dealing with her stuff, and they weren't like at odds with each other, because they've grown past that. Like that to me was huge. That, because they could have been dealing with their own stuff and then also fighting each other and bickering and all that. But, you know, the two of them have grown a lot and have matured. So they're doing their own stuff. And then they only come together when they have to. And that's when they end up working together. You know, I thought, and moving past the rivalry, which I thought was beautiful. Gamer X, thank you for the super chat. Kenny was the only character. Oh, Kenny was the only character I did not like this season. He's plot armor. What parts almost made you quit the show? Mine was the beginning of episode 10. I thought Kenny was cool this season. I thought Kenny was cool. I liked Kenny. I thought it was fun how he was just like freaking like a menace. Like he was just like bullying Anthony left and right. Like, listen, I love Lapusso, I love Anthony, but I thought Kenny was a fun character. And I also liked how I liked like the little details. Like I thought episode 7, he had a great episode. Episode 7 was very Kenny focused. I liked how they had him in the dojo. No, it was sorry, that was episode. No, well, episode 7 and episode 8 were very Kenny focused. Episode 7 when they were doing the Cobra Kai training, and it was Kenny and Kyler versus Tyron Woodley, and then Silver gave him the advice like, stop asking other people what to do and do what you think you got to do. I thought that was good advice. And then episode 8, you know, when he's training for the Saikai Taikai, you know, how he's like, he's like, I can't sleep. And he's like at the dojo at night. Like that's dedication. Like I love that. I'm trying to think who else did that. Like Miguel. Like Miguel would be training like all the time for the tournament. Like, so I thought that was pretty cool. Now I liked Kenny, and I thought at the end it was a good switch. I wish we saw more with Kenny though. That's the only thing. I am disappointed that we didn't get any Leah or any Zach, any, you know, like that whole middle school arc was completely forgotten. And that could be intentional. Like there was so much going on this season. Maybe they're going to do it next season. I hope they do it next season, because if they don't do it next season, I'll be a little disappointed, because I feel like it was just like a setup, you know, that whole like there would have been no point to do the Leah Kenny thing. Leah, Kenny, Anthony love triangle. Like the setup would have been kind of weird for that if there's no payoff. So I hope there's a payoff there, because I like the middle school arc. I thought that was cool. But yeah, this season didn't focus too much on that. Well, at all, really. I thought Kenny was good. I would have wanted to see more of Kenny. That's my thing. I would have wanted to see more of his home life. What does his mom think of his new personality, his new edgy personality? I don't know. I would have wanted to see more. I feel like we didn't get too much of him until episode 7. It wasn't until episode 7 and 8 where like you really started to focus more on him, which is very late into the season. There's only 10 episodes. So, you know, there was just so much going on. I feel like I don't even think he really did anything until episode 4 at the water park. So just wanting to see more of him. But I thought Dallas did a great job. Dallas actually killed it. And that just goes to show he could play this. He could play a kid being bullied, and he can play a bully. Like great acting. Can you guys hear me well? Is the volume good? Oh, I hope the volume is good. And as for your other question about the part that almost made me quit the show, let's talk about this. I revealed in my non-spoiler review, I told you guys that there was one scene in season 5 that almost made me quit the show. That is a big deal. Okay, you see. Okay, so I didn't want to say listen. I didn't want to get too much into the. I knew I wanted to say that. I wanted to tease you guys on that, but I didn't want to talk too much about it because I didn't want to give it away. But now that it's out and we can talk about it, I'm gonna tell you guys everything about that. So I love this show. There has never been a scene that almost made me quit the show. And when I say quit the show, obviously I would never quit the show. I love the show. It's a good show. It's a great show. It's an amazing show. But this scene made me like pissed off at the show. And I was like, screw this show. I was just like so mad in the moment. I was so mad. I was like, I can't watch it again. I can't. Like, I had to rewatch this scene 5 times. And the scene I'm talking about is Kreese's death. His death in the beginning of episode 10 of season 5. When they killed Kreese, when I thought that they killed Kreese in the beginning of the episode, they literally put the Cobra Kai title card, you know, that they do in the beginning of every episode, over a dead Kreese. I'm like, are you kidding me? You are going to disrespect Martin Kove, John Kreese like that? You're going to put the freaking title card over a dead Kreese? You're going to kill Kreese at the beginning of an episode? Kreese's death. First off, if you're going to kill Kreese, you do it like, you don't do it at the beginning of, you don't do it in the first minute of an episode. And you definitely don't do it in season 5 when you have more seasons to come. And also, he never mended his relationship with Johnny, which was the biggest thing for me. You know, I thought that I liked how he actually like stopped the fight, and then, you know, he was talking to the counselor and he was crying over Johnny. So I was like, okay, like if Kreese is gonna die like that, okay, I could appreciate that. I could appreciate he kind of came full circle. But the big thing for me was why Kreese can't die is because Johnny hates his guts. Johnny literally said at the end of season 5, he's like, good, now him and Kreese now Silver and Kreese could rot in jail together. That is terrible, because I understand villains don't get happy endings all the time. I understand that, but I don't think Kreese needs a happy ending. But if you want to justify Cobra Kai for him, like the whole show, if you want to justify this show for the character of Kreese, I think Johnny needs to understand that Kreese just was trying to do what was right for him. And Kreese, despite, you know, being so messed up in a lot of ways, Kreese really had Johnny's best intentions. And I feel like if Johnny were to realize that, then I feel like it would be fine for Kreese to go out. But the way they did it, no. So I was watching that finale, and I'm gonna post my reaction to it, because I have a reaction, and it's a you guys will freak out when you see this reaction. It's actually insane. Because after Kreese died, they cut to Mike Barnes and Chosen and Daniel in the limo. And I'm like, what are you doing? You can't show me Kreese's death. Like, Kreese is my top 3 favorite character. Top 3 characters are Miguel, Johnny, Kreese. You can't show me Kreese dying and then cut to freaking the limo. What? No. So I had to go back and watch this thing 5 times. And as I was watching the whole season, I was like, you know, I'm watching Chosen for Silver. I'm watching all this. I'm like, this is really good. This is really insane. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, they just killed Kreese. They freaking killed Kreese. They actually killed Kreese. You can, and I have this all on video. I'm going to post these. My reaction to Kreese coming back to life at the end. I was so happy when they cut to him in the finale, like, you know, and they're like he was on the chair, like, and we thought he was dead. I was like, wait a second. No way. And then his eyes pop open and he freaking beats up the cops. I was freaking out. I was like, hell yeah, thank God. Because also Martin Kove loves the character of John Kreese. If there's one thing we know about Martin Kove, he loves Kreese. Out of all of the actors on Cobra Kai, out of all of the actors on the show, there is nobody that loves their character more than Martin Kove. So Marty would never allow for Kreese to go out like that. He would never allow that. So it makes perfect sense. So the fact that that whole scene was beautiful with him escaping, and then the flashback of him stealing the counselor's ID to get out, like all of that. Frank Sinatra's My Way playing in both the beginning and the end. And then when the doctor's like, please, I'm begging you. And KOVE is like, for what? Mercy? Like, I love that. And he's like walking in the freaking like the doctor's clothes, and the cops are running past him. It reminded me of Joker. It felt like Joker. Like, if you guys have seen Joker, he gave me exactly Joker vibes. Where Joker walks like, through the subway and the cops are running right past him. He's just like smiling, all happy. And they were playing Frank Sinatra. They played Frank Sinatra and Joker too. But the music, when Kreese was getting stabbed and the music was like rising, oh, I did it my way. Like, when they were like, just like, I was like, bro, this is, and even before, so before Kreese got stabbed, I was like, I said this, and you could hear this in my reaction. I was like, wait, are they gonna kill Kreese? I was like, is Kreese like dying? I said that. I like said it out loud before he got stabbed. But when I said that, I didn't mean like in that moment. I actually, you want to know what I thought? Here's what I actually thought. I thought Kreese was going to get released out of jail. And then I thought he was going to go help Daniel and Johnny and save Daniel and Johnny and take down Silver. And I thought he was going to die then, like at the finale. So that's what I thought. I was like, when I told myself, is Kreese going to die? I thought he was going to get out of jail, and then he was going to die like in the end of the episode or something. But you can imagine my shock when they freaking stabbed him in the beginning. I'm like, what? So I never had an issue with Kreese dying, because here's the thing. I love Kreese. Top 3 favorite character. But I feel like if they were to write his story like in a great way, I wouldn't mind a heroic death for the character. However, that death sucked. That would have been the crappiest death. Like, you see, I don't even want to think of like what I would do if that was how he went out. I can't fathom it. I don't know if I'd ever be able to like. Kreese is so important to me, and the story, and Martin Kove, and so that's why I just like, I can't even think of like what I'd do if he was dead. So like, once again, it's not the fact that like, it's not the fact of him dying that I'm upset with. It's the fact of how he dies. And the biggest thing for me, he needs one thing before he dies. One thing. Like, because you know how okay, we're gonna call it back to Star Wars. Love Star Wars. So for all my Star Wars fans out there, let's tie it to Star Wars. Darth Vader saves Luke Skywalker at the end of Return of the Jedi. And what is the one thing he wants before he dies? There's one thing he wants. And then he's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to die. He wants to see his son with his own eyes. He says, Luke, help me take off this mask so I can see with my own eyes. But you'll die. Nothing can stop that now. So that's the one thing he wants, is to see his son with his own eyes. And then he's like, you've already saved me. And then he dies, and he's like, he's fulfilled. We need the same thing with Kreese. And what is the one thing Kreese wants? He wants Johnny to know he loves him. He wants Johnny to like say, I love you. I care about you. Like, and then I feel like Kreese would be like, okay, like, I'm fulfilled. I'm good now. Like, that's the one thing he wants. Kreese doesn't need to do this whole like arc of like saving all the kids in the valley and turning him into a Miyagi-Do legend. Like, he doesn't need all that. He just needs Johnny's love. And I think he'll also, I think Daniel, there will be something with Daniel too. I think Daniel will like have respect for Kreese by the end. I think they'll like, have a mutual respect of each other. But the big thing is Johnny. So that's what I think. That's the most important thing for me. So, yeah, that almost made me quit the show, but thank God they saved him. I can't wait to see what they do in season 6 with our boy John Kreese. We have a bunch of more comments, a bunch of more super chats. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. All of this goes back into the channel, into my projects and into my production and everything. So thank you guys. NASA Kane's fan says, with Chosen admitting his feelings for Komiko, yeah, and Daniel giving his blessing, will we see Komiko in season 6, or will they have a life off screen in Okinawa? Good question. So I want to tell you guys what I thought. About that. So I actually thought, what I thought they were going to do here is I thought Chosen was gonna die. I thought Silver was gonna kill Chosen. And well, I mean, we kind of did think that Chosen died, but I thought we were gonna kind of see into like Chosen's like afterlife. Like I thought, or I thought like Chosen would have like a vision of like Komiko before he died. Like the last image in his mind before he died, I thought was going to be Komiko. So that's what I mean about like being fulfilled before you pass. Like Kreese, the only thing that Kreese needs is for Johnny's like love and forgiveness. I felt like with Chosen, if Chosen were to die, like he would like think about Komiko and smile and be like, I'm okay. Knowing that like Komiko, just thinking about Komiko and knowing she's okay. I'm okay. That's what I thought they were going to do with that. I'm glad Chosen didn't die, but when he had that phone call with Komiko, that's what I thought they were gonna do. I thought it was setting up a Chosen. I thought Chosen was dying. Like it seemed like he was gonna die there. It seemed like it would. I feel like that would have been really cool though to have like, even though I wouldn't wanted, even though I'm glad Chosen didn't die. If he were to die, I feel like that would have been cool to have like a vision of like him and Komiko, like, or just like a last like seeing Komiko one last time before he passed away. And he like just smiles to himself and it's just like I know that's very sad, but like that's just what I thought. I don't know. That would have been interesting. So I think we're gonna see Komiko again, 100%. They set it up. They got to pay it off. I don't think Komiko is gonna go back to the States, unless Johnny and actually I could give you my theory. I think Chosen will go back to Okinawa in season 6 to see Komiko and to be with Komiko. I don't know if Chosen will continue to be a main. I want him to. I want him to stay. I just don't know if he will. I don't know if like the writers want to keep it, go back to just Daniel and Johnny. Like that might be what they do. I want Chosen in season 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if like, because also like think about it from Chosen's perspective. Here's why I think Chosen will probably go back to Okinawa. Like, you know, Chosen helped Daniel. He did what he had to do. You know what I mean? He got Silver arrested. So, you know, he kind of did his thing. He helped. So now I think he goes back to Okinawa to be with Komiko. And I think we're going to get that scene of him maybe expressing his love for Komiko. And then I think him and Komiko will return in like the series finale or whatever when Johnny and Carmen have like a wedding. I think Johnny and Carmen will have a wedding, or there will be like a big reunion of a bunch of people. I think Chosen and Komiko will come back for that. They'll be in the States and everybody will be like, hey, it's good to see you guys. Like it'll be like this big reunion. But yeah, even though we know there's going to be a season 6, there's going to be this world tournament most likely. We know there's going to be a lot of drama and other stuff that happens. Maybe Silver gets out of jail, but I think to start the season, Chosen will probably go back. I mean, I can't see why not, because he helped Daniel, and like, why would he stay if he has Komiko, like the love of his life or whatever, you know? Like if you have the love of your life in another, like you know, you gotta go. And I think Daniel will also like encourage him, like, you helped me, like, thank you for everything, but like you go live your happy ending or whatever, you know, you go be with Komiko. But that's a great question, NASA Kings fan, and I hope I answer that well. That would be pretty cool. So yeah. Wildman Beyond Thank you for the super chat. Silver was the Vecna of Cobra Kai. Oh, definitely. Silver's better than Vecna. I wasn't too big of a fan. I thought Vecna was pretty scary, but I don't know. It's just like a tree. I don't know. Unpopular opinion? I'm not sure. Wild Man Beyond. Thank you again for the super chat. This season was more Expendables than Avengers. Yeah, I've never really been too into Marvel. Not that it's not good. I think Marvel is actually amazing. I like Spider-Man and Iron Man. I just it's so much content to watch. I just haven't had the chance to watch all of it. It's too much. But yeah, like this season was like I've been seeing that comparison. It's like kind of like Avengers. It's like everybody teaming up and coming together. That finale felt like a James Bond movie with everybody like the kids sneaking in and trying to hack into the computer, the system, and expose Silver, and then the fight into the fight in the house and Silver with all black. It felt very James Bond movie-esque. Yeah. Tash Hawk, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Unpopular opinion, it didn't bother me that Kenny won the fight against Hawk. I just wish that Hawk had more scenes. Love season 5 though. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. That Hawk had more scenes. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Hawk and Dimitri both, weren't focuses. They were kind of just there a lot of the times. That's the thing. There's just so many different storylines going on that it's hard to Hawk definitely didn't have the season 4 focus. And he's one of the best characters on the show. So I get what you're saying. I mean, I think that's just the thing with this show that I think we all want. We just want more of it. But here's the thing. So, and I spoke about this on a couple of videos that will be coming out. It's like, I say that I want more. I say that I want more time with the characters. I want more scenes. But the truth is, maybe if we did get that, maybe it would be too much. So you never really know. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't really say, oh, if they had more scenes with Hawk, it would be 100% better. Maybe if we had more scenes with Hawk, it would be like, this is too many scenes with Hawk. We want to see other characters. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying that that could be it. You know what I mean? That could be it. So it's very interesting. But obviously, so the way this show goes, there's so many characters. Some characters are going to have better seasons than others. I think a lot of people were disappointed with Miguel in season 4 because he didn't have too much of a focus. I think a lot of people were satisfied with Miguel in season 5 because he was a huge focus. Miguel had a great season. Hawk was a big focus in season 4, not as much in season 5. So I think it's just kind of like, unfortunately, it's like certain characters who get more, it's at the expense of other characters, which I don't like that, but that's just kind of what the reality is. So, Tash, I've been seeing a lot of comments about Hawk, people wanting Hawk to have more scenes, so I don't blame you. My question is, here's what I was friggin' confused about. I'm like, what the frick? What? Where the frick was Dimitri at the end of episode 6 when they were all bowing to the senseis? Where was Dimitri? Where was Dimitri? Don't tell me he was working for freaking Tech Town. That was like what? How could you not have Dimitri there at that final? Like, you had everybody there but Dimitri. I'm like, what? How did that make any sense? So that part was like, he was at work. Did they say he was at work? Someone forgot to tell him. But like, what? I don't know. I was like, nah, like, come on. Did they even say that he was at work? I don't even think they said he was at work. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wish Dimitri was there. I get he has a summer job, but come on, like, He should have been there. It wasn't possible for Gianni to get there. COVID. Yeah, maybe, but like, oh, come on, man. He should have been there. He should have been there. All right, let's keep going. Wax on, wax off news. I like that channel name. Nice name. Did I think Chosen died too? Oh yeah, 100%. I thought Chosen died. The guy got his back sliced. I mean, it wasn't like a little scrape, like through his whole back. Not his whole back, like half his back. Blood pouring out of him. Like that was a big, deep cut into him. So the blood's coming out. And he's also just like lying in the pool, you know, like the good news, at least he fell like that. Because if he fell face first and his head was submerged into the water, he would have drowned. So at least he fell on his back and he was able to float on the water. So thank God for that. Or else he would have drowned. But Johnny and Barnes were able to rescue him. Thank God. I'm so happy he's alive. But yeah, I thought he died. Philomena, thank you for the super chat. I don't care how it looked compared to the other fights. Daniel beating Silver with his own method he used to torture him with the karate. Sorry. I don't care how it looked compared to the other fights. Daniel beating Silver with his own method he used to torture him in Karate Kid 3. The crane kick for good measure was glorious. Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Like, obviously, it wasn't like a back and forth fight. It definitely wasn't. When you say, it's so hard to like say like the best fights of the show. When we say fights, are we talking about choreography? Are we talking about story? Are we talking about payoff? Like, it's hard to like say, what are the best fights? Because in a lot of ways, you could say this was one of the best fights. But in other ways, you could say it wasn't one of the best fights. It definitely wasn't. There was no back and forth. It wasn't in terms of like choreography and entertainment, in terms of like fighting skill. It wasn't the best fight. Like, I thought the fight with Daniel and Silver in episode 5 was better. There were a lot more like gruesome fights like that we love. But I think this fight was still really good in terms of like story wise and in terms of payoff. It was like the payoff for Daniel LaRusso and the way they tied into Karate Kid 3. So this was like more of like a story fight, you know, Daniel kind of defeating Silver. So like when we look at the fight between Chosen and Silver, I mean, that fight is like freaking like, dude, that's a fight. When we look at Kreese versus Johnny and Kreese versus Daniel in season 3, that's a freaking fight. This one, it wasn't a back and forth, like kind of like choreography. It was, you know, they did a lot of slow motion cuts to man can't stand, he can't fight. So it was more like a payoff for the story, but it was beautiful. It was such a great final fight. Like, crazy to think that Silver fought both Chosen and Daniel in the finale. In the finale. Also crazy to think that, and a lot of people have been talking about this, if Chosen like weren't drunk, because think about it, they were all drunk. Like, what if they all weren't drunk? Would they have still would Chosen have easily beat Silver if he wasn't drunk? Would Daniel was kind of drunk and he still beat Silver? What do you guys think about like if Chosen wasn't drunk? Because I mean, the dude had a lot of drinks in him. He didn't expect to be fighting Silver, and that could obviously, you know, mess with your body, mess with your mind, especially because the guy doesn't drink. Like, it's not like he's used. Like, it's not like he's like Johnny. Like Johnny's used to drinking. Chosen wasn't used to drinking, so that could definitely screw you up. So, that might have been like, you know, how, because a lot of people say Chosen's the more powerful fighter, but that might have been like how they wrote it. Why Silver? Because Silver kind of won that fight. That might have been like the explanation, because Chosen was kind of drunk. So. That might have been it. All right. Cam, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I related that finally kind of with Endgames. I think you're saying you relate that the season 5 set was like Endgames. I agree with you. I think Stingray was a GOAT this season, says Cam. Yeah, Cam, I agree with you. I think Stingray was actually incredible. I think a lot of people really liked Stingray this season because Stingray, I think, got a lot of hate, undeserved hate in past seasons. Like, he's too silly. They're doing too much with him. But I think he had a very, like, relatable arc. And, you know, like, the guy just wanted to belong. He just wanted to fit in. He just wanted to be Cobra Kai. You know, that made him feel good. That made him have confidence. It's like, you could tell he's been bullied as a child. He doesn't really have any friends. You know, he just wants to fit in. And, you know, being a part of Cobra Kai, he always fit in. And he even says this, he didn't think that anyone else would get hurt but him. That's why he did what he did, you know, why he lied. Like, I mean, obviously he put Kreese in jail, but, you know, Kreese was like, you know, kind of like rude to him. So Stingray didn't think anybody was going to get hurt but him. But once he found out that what he was doing was inflicting pain on others, you know, the fact that he revealed the truth, he became a good guy. Like, I thought it was a great arc for Stingray. I thought Stingray was really, really good this season. I think a lot of people enjoyed what they did with this character, and I found it very satisfying when he beat up all those cobras at the end. Shout out to Big Red and Little Red, who got like their first like lines and their first scene, and then AJ, who plays Edwin, he got his first line. Like, those guys have been in the show since the beginning. So the fact that they got lines, like AJ was there since season 1, Ginger Twins, Red, Big Red, Little Red, they were there since season 2. The fact that they got like lines and the scene was so awesome. I'm so happy for them. So that was really cool. But yeah, Stingray was great. And when he got the Cobra Mobile, and then when he picks up Daniel and he says, "Mr. LaRusso, come with me if you want to live." Like, it's so funny. And then Cam also says, I liked Chosen this season. He was very funny. Chosen was one of the funniest characters this season. Definitely one of the highlights, maybe one of the biggest highlights. Chosen was freaking unbelievable. So funny. Once again, he's so funny, but he could also pose as such a threat, such a menace. So thank you for the super chats, Cam. Angel, thank you for the super chat. What happens with all of the Cobra Kai students? Great question. Well, they all left. At least technically, we don't know what happens to all of them, because those weren't all of the students. Those were just the students of that particular dojo. Like, Silver has more dojos, which I wish we would have seen more of the other dojos. We only saw like 2 of his dojos. I believe we only saw like 2 of his dojos, the black belt school and then like the main dojo. I wish we would have seen more, because he had like 15 locations or 10 locations or something. He had a bunch of locations. So I wish we would have seen more. We really don't know what all the other students are going to do. We know the students that we saw, Kenny, Kyler, Devin, you know, they all left. They all left the dojo. But we really don't know what else is going to happen. So we don't know about the other students. We don't know about the other dojos, what's happening there. We really don't know. So maybe they're going to stay in Cobra Kai. Maybe Kim Dae-hoon is going to take over Cobra Kai. Who knows? Like, we don't, the finale didn't answer that. But I feel like the general consensus, I feel like next season it'll kind of be like all over the news. Like Cobra Kai cheated at the tournament. Terry Silver's going to jail. I feel like Cobra Kai, its like reputation will be kind of ruined. I feel like that's how next season will start. So I feel like the students will leave Cobra Kai. I feel like no one will want to be a part of it. Brian Larkin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Dude, it's good to see you. Hi, Drew. Amazing season. I agree with you there. I highly recommend Sean Kanan's book, The Way of the Cobra. Can't wait for Ralph's book, video game, and the Cobra Kai book. Yes, we got a lot of stuff coming. I actually just got Sean Kanan's book, Way of the Cobra. I have it. I'm going to start reading it soon. I'm reading a couple of books right now. So, yeah, got a lot to read. Ralph's book. Can't wait to read that. Video game coming in October. I did a trailer reaction. I didn't post that yet, but I'll be posting that soon. And the Cobra Kai book. Yeah, there's going to be a Cobra Kai book coming out, like behind the scenes stuff, I believe. So, yeah, I'm excited to cover all of that. So, yeah, guys, go check out Sean Kanan's book, Way of the Cobra. Ralph Macchio's memoir coming out. Cobra Kai video game coming soon. And there's a Cobra Kai book. Like, we got a lot of stuff coming. We got a lot of stuff. It's going to be good. It's going to be really, really good. All right. Keep commenting your questions for Cobra Kai season 5 or season 6. K-Man wants to know, do I think there will be a season 6? Yeah. So I have like something on my teeth. I only cut my lip. Never mind. Do I think there will be a season 6? Yes, I think there will be a season 6. Johnny and Carmen have a baby. There's going to be a world tournament. Silver's in jail. I mean, you can't, like, there's still got to be something there. Kim Da-eun's on the loose. Kreese just got out of jail. You know, all the Cobra Kai students left. Like, there's still story to explore. You know, for everyone saying, like, they should end it here, this would be a terrible ending. Like, for Kreese to just escape jail and that's it. Like, you never know what happens next. For Johnny Carmen to, like, say, oh, we're having a baby coming. And then, like, this would be the worst ending to the series. Like, if this was just the end. Because it's not a conclusive ending. And I understand that, like, you know, even when we get the series finale, there might still be stuff that we want. Like, say, like, Johnny and Carmen get married in the series finale. Sure, we might want to see, like, what happens after they're married. But, like, that stuff we could kind of infer. It's like, okay, we don't really need to. Like, it's pretty conclusive. This finale, while it felt conclusive in a lot of ways, it's not. This can't be how the show ends. But I get what people are saying. I think they did this intentionally. You know, I think they ended it like this intentionally in a way that kind of felt series finale-ish, but they also left the room for, you know, stuff. You know, it's hard to predict what's going to happen next because, I mean, I think when we all saw episodes 7 and 8 with the Saikai Taikai, we thought, okay, that's going to be season 6, Saikai Taikai, World Tournament. But then Silver goes to jail. Cobra Kai gets shut down. So it's like, now what's the point? Because the only reason Daniel, Johnny, Chosen entered this Saikai Taikai is to take down Cobra Kai. That was the only reason. But if Cobra Kai is taken down, why do they have to compete? So they set up season 6 in episode 7 and 8. And then episode 10 is kind of like, nope. But I think that I think season 6 will kind of be like nope, Silver's going to get out of jail. And they are going to have to compete in the Saikai Taikai. That's what I think. So that's my thoughts. No, I don't think Kreese is gonna escape jail. I feel like that would be. No, I mean, I don't think Silver's gonna escape jail. I think that would be too much. I I loved Kreese's escape, but I do have to say that like, if you guys ever watched Prison Break, Michael Scofield, if Michael Scofield saw this, he would be like, bro, what the frick? Like, because it's like I love the scene, I love the escape, but like when you do look at it realistically, it makes no sense, because you're telling me that all he had to do was like get the key card and boom, he's out of jail. Because like, don't they like have like anyone like surveying outside of the jail? Like, aren't there people outside of the jail just in case someone were to escape? Like, I mean, the fact that it was like just all he needed was a key card, and also it's not like he got into that hallway just by pretending to be dead. Because if that were the case, I would understand. But he was in that hallway in episode 6. You know, he literally saw his counselor open the door, so he was already there. He could get there anytime he wanted to. So it was like, I don't know. My recollection of prisons is like, you don't, not that I've ever been, but like, you know, from shows and movies and whatever, it's not one door and boom, you're out. Like, so so that part was a little unrealistic, but like I mean, it's funny. The sad thing for Kreese is that even though he is exonerated, escaping from prison is a crime in itself, and he beat up guards, so he'll have to go back to prison for the crime of escape. Boom. That is the funniest thing ever. I thought about that. It's so funny. Literally, the dude could have waited like a day and he would have been exonerated. But he freaking escaped prison. He beat up guards. He freaking committed a crime by escaping when he would have gotten, like, the irony of that. Now he's going to be hunted down for escaping and not even the crime that he committed. Funny. Did anyone notice the My Cousin Vinny reference when Kreese was like, I want a good lawyer, not one of your greasy cousins, to Ralph Macchio? I thought that was so funny. Brian, that was the funniest scene in all of Cobra Kai. I think that's the funniest scene in the whole entire show. That whole scene was great, but I am talking about Johnny. Oh God. Zapka, dude. Zapka, dude. He is actually, Zapka is the reason why we watch this show. Let's all be honest. If there was no Johnny, there's no show. Zapka is Cobra Kai. He's the show. Like, out of anybody, Zapka's the show. That scene, his acting, this is him. He's like, I can't do it because I don't want to disrespect the performance, but the way he looks, like, from he's looking at his computer with the YouTube video, and he's looking like at his thing, like trying to replicate what the video is doing. The video, she's wrapping a baby in a blanket, and he's wrapping his Coors Banquet case and with a towel. It's the funniest thing because he's so serious about it, and it's like the music also is perfect. Cleanup Montage, which they actually played at the Cobra Kai concert. It's the same song. It's like this epic rock music. It's like this really intense rock training music. So it's like the music is serious and like intense. It's like a training montage. That's what makes the scene good. There's so many layers to that scene, but the music, because if they were to play like goofy, like la 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 music, it's like, okay, it's a joke. But the fact that they're playing this like epic rock music, down, down, it's like they're playing this serious music, and Johnny's like really into it. Like this isn't a joke. Like the audience find it funny, but Johnny is taking this seriously, and that's what's so funny about it. And the show is taking it seriously. And Johnny preparing for a baby, and he's wrapping the corpse banquet in a blanket. And the funniest part is when he's like he's this whole thing of like corpse banquet. He's like shaking it. He's like like trying to like calm the baby down, and the thing, the bottle spills and breaks on the floor. He's like, oh shit. Like the delivery is beautiful. Like, and then like when he's in the Uber, all the performances there, like the guy's on the phone, he's like, can you like turn that down? And he's like, shut the hell up, I'm trying to listen. Like the way he says it though, it's like the way he says it. Dude, I can't. Nice shirt. I'm joking, it sucks. Zabka is just, dude. It's Zabka. I mean, he's the show. He's the show right here. He had so many great moments in season 5. He was so funny. He's so good. Zabka's the best. Zabka's the best. I saw man literally rebooted the whole franchise. Yeah. Exactly. It's literally Johnny's story. Johnny's story, which is one of the season 5 tracks. Yeah, there were a ton of F-bombs this season. There were a ton of F-bombs. In Mexico in the first episode, that guy who Miguel thought was Hector, his father, dropped like 3 F-bombs in Spanish in like one scene. That was pretty sick. Like, even though there's like a very young audience for Cobra Kai, I like how the writers aren't like, they're not going to like adjust the show for that. They're still going all out. Daniel Mike effing Barnes, or like, are you effing crazy? Like, there's so much. Or even Silver said, stay the F out of our way. Like, dude, I love the F-bombs. It just adds an effect, especially because, like, here's the thing. I feel like if you're a show that is constantly dropping F-bombs, like, I don't like that. Like, even like if you're telling a joke or in like comedy, if you're doing comedy, or if you're watching a show and they're constantly dropping F-bombs, it loses its effect. But like when you rarely say the F-bomb and you use it in a certain sentence, it adds more effect. It adds more of an effect. So like the placement of the F-bombs is very important, and I think it was used very good here. Daniel, Johnny Chosen, rising up back on the street. That was great. That was so good. Them all jamming in the limo to Eye of the Tiger. Who would have thought Daniel would have been jamming like 40 years later in a limo with friggin' his villains from Karate Kid 1 and 2. And meanwhile, the villain from Karate Kid 3 is the one driving the limo. It's just like funny as hell. That was a great scene. It was hard for me when I watched it the first time. Like now when I watch it, I enjoy it. But the first time I watched it, I wasn't like I enjoyed it, but I was also the whole time I knew that something was happening, because episode 9 is always the craziest episode before the finale. It's always the setup for the finale of every season. It's like, episode 10 is the finale. So, episode 9 is going to set up that finale. So the whole time when they went to the party, I'm like on the edge of my seat. Like, it was a fun scene, but I couldn't just sit back and just enjoy it. Like, I enjoyed it, but I couldn't sit back and like relax. I was like, someone's going to come out from somewhere. Terry's guys are going to come out. This guy is going to do something, like something big is going to happen. I was waiting for it the whole time. And in the limo, even like when they were jamming, and as I knew the episode was ending, I was like, okay, like I know you guys are having fun, but like something's got to happen. And then freaking they try to talk to the limo driver. He's not opening up. The door's locked. I'm like, there we go. I thought it was like one of Silver's guys who kidnapped them, but it was Mike effing Barnes. I got to get some sound clips for that. But did I like Johnny versus Barnes? It was so quick. It was I mean, it was I freaked out when we saw that, but it was like so quick. It wasn't even a fight. So yeah, it really wasn't too much with that. What happened with Miguel's dad? I don't get it. His dad was not a great dude. And Miguel realized that. You know, it seemed like Miguel at first, you know, was pissed at Carmen because he's like, why didn't you like tell me about him? Like he's such a nice guy. He's nothing like you described him as. You know, I could have had this life if it weren't for you. You know, Miguel was pissed, but then Miguel realized the truth about his dad, that his dad wasn't a good guy. He had a gun, you know, he doing illegal stuff. You know, he was so quick to assume Miguel was part of the FBI. You know, he's not the father Miguel was hoping he would be. So I thought, you know, it was actually very poetic that he just left. The fact that he just left and didn't even find out, you know, who he really was. I'm glad. I'm kind of like I think it could have been a great story if Miguel's dad found out who he was, but I think there was something special about it, about Miguel's dad not finding out. And I have a video, I have like a 10-minute video on why the Mexico storyline worked for me. So I'll be posting that soon. Oh, Brianna, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. It's too nice of you. Daniel is Johnny's best man next season, and Amanda is Carmen's matron of honor. I like that. You think they're getting married next season, though? I think Johnny. Here's the thing, though. I think Johnny could pop the question next season, but I think they get married season 7. So I think the wedding is season 7. So I think Johnny pops the question next season. I think season 7 they'll get married. But thank you, Brianna. Daniel definitely got to be Johnny's best man, and yeah, Amanda, Carmen's matron of honor. Yeah, definitely. It's got to be something like that. I love that. Robby or Miguel will be the best man. I feel like Daniel's got to be the best man. I don't know. I feel like it would be like cooler if Daniel were the best man. Because here's the thing. I feel like it would be like kind of unfair if like Robby was the best man. Like, what about Miguel? If Miguel was the best man, what about Robby? So I feel like Daniel would be a cool choice. Everyone complaining that Kenny beat Hawk. Please remember the ref had been paid off. You're supposed to know it's blatantly obvious Kenny shouldn't have won. Yeah, exactly. It's like Kenny didn't win that. Like Kenny won, but he didn't he didn't beat up Hawk. He didn't beat Hawk. He like cheated. So yeah. It's not like the writers just like it was a normal fight and yeah, like it was obviously just like Miguel, like Hawk never beat Miguel at the tournament. You know, Miguel got injured. Did Miguel leave his bag at his dad's house? That's a good question. Probably. I never that's the first time I'm seeing that question. I didn't even cross my mind. He probably left his bag at his house, I would imagine. Or else that would have been pretty awkward. Like, I don't know. Well, no, his dad wasn't even at the house. I don't know. Green Wing. Anyone find the evolution of Hawk's hair interesting? Ending up back in blue seemed like a rebirth to me. Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm like, I find it like weird. Like the past 2 seasons, he's changed his hair 3 times. Like I'm a little like, I don't know. It's not the biggest deal for me, but it's also like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of too much. I felt like, season 1 blue, season 2 red, cool. Like that was cool. That was cool because that represented him going to the dark side. Season 3 he was all red. Season 4 he was red, and then he went purple for like half an episode. Got it shaved off, so the purple was kind of pointless. Like the purple was completely pointless because he got it shaved off. Then he started growing out the mohawk again. He got green, which I thought was really cool. But literally that same episode was the same episode. He got rid of the green, and then he got blue again. I like that he went back to blue, but like, what was the point of the green? I don't know. And then I guess Robby was like, what happened to mohawk? He's like, I don't know. I just like didn't really feel it or something. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was necessary. Like, I don't think it really like, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. It didn't really like seem like necessary for me. I feel like it's too many hair changes. Just like leave it. You know, like why are you gonna keep like? It gets like kind of like repetitive. If every season he's changing his hair or changing his tattoo or something, it's kind of like just stick with something. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. How did I react to Jessica Andrews' return? I was shocked. I was like, so I couldn't even talk. I was just in pure shock. It caught me so off guard. I was like, wait, what the frick? I never in a million years would have thought that would have been how she came into the series. So caught me so off guard. What is my favorite Hawks mohawk? I like the red. I think the red is pretty badass. I would probably say red. All right, I want to just make this clear. Tory's grandfather is not Kreese. The only reason, yes, Tory's like, hey, grandpa, and then Kreese was like, hey, granddaughter. Like, I don't know if people thought that was actually true. It was just so she could get into the jail, and I knew that 100%. It wasn't like I never interpreted it any other way. The only way for you to visit someone in jail is if you have like a connection to them. So I wonder how Johnny and Daniel visited Kreese then, but I don't know. But for Tori, the only way she could visit, they probably asked her like, how do you know him? Like, you know, if she had said like, I was one of his students, you know, that could have been like, you know, he literally beat up Stingray like at the dojo, you know, so that might have been like, now you can't go in. But by her saying I'm his granddaughter, they let her in. So that was it. What I think of the fake deaths? I thought the fake deaths were good. I hope they don't do too much of that though in the future. I felt like this season was fine, the fake deaths, but I don't really like. I feel like fake deaths are good up until an extent. So this season it felt okay, but I don't want them to like keep doing that. You know, I don't want them to keep faking deaths. I don't know. Like do like all these like fake outs. It's like, oh, he died. Just kidding. Because then it kind of it makes us lose like the emotion. So say like, you know, with Kreese or Chosen, right? So, you know, Chosen got sliced. We all thought he was dead. So like if they were to actually kill Chosen in the future, we might not really like, we might be like, is he really dead though? And it's like that effect that they're trying to get might not really be conveyed as much because we already had a fake out death, and who's to say we won't get another? So it depends on execution. I thought it was executed pretty good though. I'm referring to the 2 fake deaths in season 5. So that's what I'm referring to. Johnny's escape room, though, that was funny. That was a funny scene. And they played Blaze of Glory by Bon Jovi. If you guys don't know, I'm the biggest Bon Jovi fan. I literally have a video titled Cobra Kai, like Bon Jovi in Cobra Kai season 4, because I wanted them to do play a Bon Jovi song in season 4. They didn't do that in season 4, but they did it in season 5. They played Blades of Glory. That was freaking epic. So cool. Why did Silver burn Mike Barnes' warehouse? To send a message to stop playing with fire. He told Daniel, you're playing with fire. Crazy. Johnny had a... What? Johnny had a Bon Jovi cassette in the... No, he didn't. Wait, I gotta go back. I did not notice that. Shut the frick up. Shut up. Dude, I swear I did not notice that. Wait, I'm going back and rewatching that. No way. Oh my God, wait, I gotta go back and rewatch. Oh! I see it! Dude! Dude, what a great dude, I'm so glad you caught that. Thank you for telling me that. Oh my God, dude. What album is that? Is that Bon Jovi's Greatest Hits? Oh, it's the Young Guns soundtrack. Is it the Young Guns soundtrack? Dude, he is freaking... That's all I needed to know in life, was that Johnny was a fan of Bon Jovi. That was all I needed to know. Like, literally, you guys could go watch that video. And I've always said, I need to know, is Johnny a Bon Jovi fan? And he is. Whew. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That makes me so happy. Whew. So good. What scenes pissed you off? Let's talk about it. I'm curious. Tell me what scenes pissed you off. I saw Bon Jovi and I was like, Drew's going to lose it. I didn't even notice that was in the car because it went by so quick. I didn't even notice that. Great eye there. Great eye there, Brian. I did that. Great eye. Great eye. Great eye. Yeah. Great mind. Great eye. Good eye there, Brian. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I went absolutely freaking nuts. How many times have I watched season 5? Like 4. Like I'm on my 4th rewatch. Yeah, screw Mitch. Screw Mitch. Mitch was the most improved character in season 3, and now he's just a freaking... You know what I find so funny? You know what I find the funniest thing? The funniest thing is like the fact that Mitch betrayed Miyagi Fang to be in Cobra Kai. And then literally a half hour later, Cobra Kai gets exposed and is like done. Like imagine like going through all of that trouble and like betraying all of your friends to be in Cobra Kai, and literally like 30 minutes later, no one's in Cobra Kai anymore. We all freaking hate Cobra Kai. It's like, bro, why the frick did I do that then? Now it's like now everybody just hates Mitch. It's so funny. I loved how the photo of Mrs. Miyagi was in that room. Yes. Kyoko, which we found out in the Karate Kid musical. Pretty cool stuff. Kyoko is the name of Mr. Miyagi's wife, Kyoko. They revealed that in the Karate Kid musical, and she actually has a scene, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, that was really, really cool. Seeing Mr. Miyagi's room. Daniel's like, Amanda, I don't go in there. Whew, chills. Because I was always wondering, like, where are the other rooms in this dojo? Like, because Mr. Miyagi had all of these other rooms, and boom, there you go. We saw Mr. Miyagi's room. Oh, and we saw the paint the fence paper. Oh my god. Or my bad, paint the house side to side. Seeing that paper, dude, crazy. The bonsai trees. Tori's hand though. Yeah, crazy. Favorite fight of the season, Terry versus Chosen. Woodley can't get a break. Got his finger chopped off. That was freaking nuts. He literally got his pinky chopped off. Dude, this show, like, they went dark. They went dark, man. They went dark. They literally freaking chopped off a finger and they had blood, like, gushing out. Like, who would have thought? I just finished season 5. We need Julie in season 6. Yes, I agree with you. I agree. We need Julie. We need Julie Pierce. I swear, if Kreese, Johnny, and Chosen died, I would have destroyed my phone. What about you? I thought it was going to happen. Oh, yeah, I would have. Yeah, if they kill Johnny, that's like, not game over. But, and if you kill Kreese, you couldn't kill them like that. No, you couldn't do that. We need more Anoush. How the hell can the show have a finger chopped off? Don't they have to keep the violence level below an R rating? This entire franchise is PG or PG-13, and amputation is R-rated violence. I don't know. What is Cobra Kai? What is Cobra Kai rated? What is Cobra Kai rated? I have no clue. It's rated TV 14. There's like a different. I know there's a different rating for like movies, like rated R and TV 14. It's a different. I don't know. I don't know. I know there's. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, how did Chosen not die? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That he got sliced. Like, the fact that he survived that, a little crazy, but I'm glad he did. Connor, Drew, who do I think is going to be the villain for season 6? Do I think Kreese is going to be the villain again, or do I think he'll be someone brand new? I think Kreese will be a villain. I don't think he'll be the main villain, and I think Silver is going to get out of jail and he'll be the main villain again. What's up, MJ? How you doing? It's M for season 5. It says on Netflix. Oh, really? Oh, cool. So, yeah. Oh, it's rated M now. Rated M on TV. How old is that? 17. There's a lot of young kids that watch this show. All right, we're gonna go for 10 more minutes. I want to hit that 3-hour mark. So keep asking your questions. Thanks, Jack. I appreciate that. Imagine the fight if Mike, Johnny, and Chosen weren't drunk. Mike, I don't know if Mike wasn't drunk. Mike was just crazy. But yeah, Chosen would have probably kicked Silver's ass. Sorry, I just saw a comment. I love this. Raimi, I love the part when Johnny says Shrimpo Sensei. Shrimpo Sensei. Strong sun, China. Strong wind, strong sun. Coast of China. Like, I love that. Shrimpo Sensei. Johnny's funny. Oh, good. Season 6 release date, according to you? Hopefully next year. End of 2023 or early 2024. I would say. No, they haven't filmed anything for season 6 yet. Do I think Kyler will turn good? I think he'll join the Miyagi Feng Dojo for the Saikai Taikai. Mike says, love the content, man. Thank you, Mike. Chosen versus Terry was the kind of violence I was looking for. Seemed Chosen won, but got distracted and got sliced with his back turn. Kind of like Kreese versus Johnny in season 3. Yeah. Yeah. Chosen definitely won the fight, but got distracted. Ty, I think they're going to go beyond season 6. I think they're going to go to 7 or 8. What did I think of the episode Extreme Measures? I thought it was a great episode with Miguel and Robby, being friends. Everything with Silver and Daniel and Stingray. Like, that was just a really good episode. Very, very good episode. Jessica Andrews, Anthony. Kenny Silver Bullet was awesome. That was sick. That was freaking sick. How Silver freaking put a hole through the punching bag or whatever it was. That was cool. Honestly, I already can't wait for season 6, and I can imagine Johnny freaking out in the delivery room. Yeah, yeah. No, I think he'll be fine by then. He'll be nervous, but I think he'll be fine by then. I think he'll be fine at that point. Bro, I like how someone's here trying to be like another channel. What are my top 3 characters in Cobra Kai? Miguel at number 1, Johnny at number 2, Kreese at number 3. Kim, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Do I think Silver could pay to get out of prison? I think he's going to use his money. I think Kim Da-eun's going to help him from outside of jail. I think he's going to have those resources to get out. So yes, I do think so. I think Silver's gonna pay to get his way out of jail. Protect the egg. Yes, that was a great scene. But thank you, Kim, for that super chat. Expectations for season 6. I think we're getting that world tournament, baby. I like your profile, by the way, with Hawk's hair. It's cool. Green's my favorite color, so yeah. Hopefully they officially confirm season 6 soon. It hasn't been officially confirmed, but soon, I think. Yeah, ND. Post your drawing and tag it. Tag me in it. So I'll check it out. Definitely tag it. I'll definitely check it out. I feel like people aren't talking about enough. I feel like people aren't talking enough about Tori. Her arc was awesome this season. So much growth. Scene with the stone was brutal. I love her redemption. I think Tori had a great season. I know. I feel like I haven't even been talking about Tori enough. There's just so much to talk about. She had a great. There's just so many good arcs. That's why it's hard to like focus on everybody. But Tori had a great season. She felt like a very relatable character this season who went through a lot of struggle. And I really appreciated her arc. Yeah, when she was punching that stone, that was brutal. That was tough. That was terrible. Favorite season for me? I loved it. I'm glad you liked it. Favorite moment of John Kreese is I love that therapy scene. That therapy scene was freaking incredible where he was talking to Betsy. We didn't even talk about that. Betsy, Captain Turner, Silver, Barrett Carnahan, Young Kreese, Zapka was there, Tory, and of course, young Johnny Lawrence. Deep fake Johnny Lawrence. That was great how they did that. That was a beautiful scene. I'm going to talk more about that. Wow. Like they did a great job with that CGI. They de-aged William Zabka's voice. That was great technology. It actually looked pretty good. For a show that doesn't have like the biggest budget. I think they did a better job with that CGI than Luke Skywalker and Mandalorian season 2. Honestly, I thought it was really good. And it worked so well. And it was so simple. So simple yet effective. Sam, what's up, Sam? Oh, thank you for the super chat. Nice. I like your logo with your gi. Hey, Drew, I'm going to head off to sleep now. Have a great night, Sam. Bye. Don't forget to read my private message on Instagram. Hey, man, I'll definitely check it out when I have the chance, okay? I'm going to check it out. I appreciate you, Sam. Have a good night. You are literally dedicated to this show, and I know I love it so much, the same as me. I've been watching it since it was on YouTube. Thank you for these videos. Cobra Kai never dies, Drew. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Well, guys, this was such a great discussion. I wanted to hit the 3-hour mark, and we did. So I want to just let you guys know that you can expect more videos coming in the next however long we have. I will be posting videos every day pretty much for a while. I have a lot of videos. My thoughts on season 5. I have season 5 discussions with other people, with other creators. I have reaction videos. I have season 6 videos. There's a lot to come. And we are going to hit the 3-hour mark right now. Woo! Good job, guys. We did an 8.5-hour stream 2 days ago, 2 nights ago, and we just did a freaking 3-hour stream. So that's brilliant. But so you guys, there will be videos every day on the channel, pretty much every day. We'll be doing more live streams. Once I get set into my schedule, we'll go back to doing like weekly live streams. I know we haven't done those in a while. So just stay tuned for follow me here on YouTube, Cobra Kai Kid. So follow my social medias right here, right there. Follow my social medias. So you can stay tuned for all my posts, my updates, all that. Make sure to like and share, as it says here. Subscribe. I'll be posting more updates, stuff on. There's so much to talk about with season 5. I have so many videos coming out with like more detailed thoughts, analyses, breakdowns. We'll do some interviews soon. You know, there's the possibilities are endless. And as always, if there's anything that you guys want to see on the channel, if there's any videos, any interviews, any videos that you want to see, comment them down below in this video. And I will read them. And I definitely love to hear what you guys think and love to hear what you guys want to see. And yeah, we got some good stuff coming. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thank you for watching. And until then, remember, Cobra Kai never dies.